It's John Rocha here on a Monday morning on the Kristian Harloff Show. Hope you all had a great weekend. Maybe you went to see the end of Oak Street. Maybe you watched the Lanterns last night. Or maybe you went out and touched some grass, talked to people, hung out at a barbecue, hung out with your family, or you just sat around just kind of detoxing and from the week that you had last week. And now you're here joining us on the Kristian Harloff Show. It is me riding solo. The Outlaw riding solo. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about here with D23 and all kinds of stuff here. And certainly you're going to have some strong thoughts about the X-Men. So we're going to talk about Lanterns. Some of you may have strong thoughts about the Lanterns. I'm sure we'll have a spoiler section for a few minutes that PLD will put up that graphic for and stuff like that. So we are here to just reconnect with each other, have some fun on a Monday, and talk about stuff. So let's get it going. It's the Kristian Harloff Show here on a Monday morning. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kristian Harloff Show. So many things happening in the world of entertainment over the last few days. We're going to cover them all here as much as we can here on this particular show. I am riding solo, as I said in my intro. So I hope you all will be out there to support me with some super chats as we go along, because I want to hear from you. What do you think about all the stuff that's been happening here that we're going to cover here on the show? The box office, the announcements from D23, specifically the Marvel stuff, as well as some other stuff. We're going to get into a little bit of the Lanterns episode last night. We will put a spoiler warning up in case we talk about some spoiler stuff there. Certainly the massive cliffhanger ending to that episode last night. We're also going to jump into some other stuff here, like Johnny Depp, the Avengers Doomsday pre-sale tickets that are absolutely blowing the doors off the box office. Even though some people didn't like the trailer, it seems like that's going to be the really loud minority in all of this, because people seem really excited about it. And we're also going to offer a tribute, of course, to the untimely passing of Hayden Panettiere, who is an actress who's been around with us for such a long time. Dot and Bug's Life, Remember the Titans, some people who are even soap opera fans, One Life to Live, her first run there at 5 years old. And of course, shows like Nashville Heroes, and recently wrote a memoir earlier this year detailing some of the tough things that she endured as an actress, a young actress in Hollywood, and her substance abuse issues and all of that. So we'll offer a tribute to her later on in the show. But we are here to talk about a lot of things here that are going to be a lot of fun. I am riding solo with PLD hanging out behind me, riding in the cart next to me, kind of like he's kind of like Indiana Jones' dad, and I'm driving the damn motorcycle. We'll see where we end up or not. But wait, what the crap? Hold on. What is that? What the hell is that? You're starting off with. What is this?
Where's my coffee?
Is that your Nacho Libre? Is that your Nacho Libre?
I don't know what you're talking about. What's
exactly. Get that corn out of my face. Come on. Anyway, we're going to get into all of that. So there we go. So yeah, we'll get into all of that stuff here on the show. So let's get it going, and send in your super chats as we go along. Would love your support here for the show. Remember, when you're sending your super chats, you're supporting me being on this channel, but you're also supporting the channel itself, because that money does go to Kristian Harloff. So please send in your support, send in your questions, thoughts, and comments through your super chats. Let's have a great Monday to start things off. So let's get it on. First, let's talk about some D23 stuff, because I know a lot of people have comments and opinions on everything that's gone on here with D23. Let's take a look at it. This is Deadline's breakdown of it all, and let's see how I look on the screen with this stuff. Okay, there we go. No, what's the shot we have? Is this a better shot? What's the better shot? I always forget what the better shot is. No. Yeah, okay, let's do that one, and then I'll just make it bigger when we look at this stuff here. Let's see. This is a professional organization. Okay, so everything else at D23, everybody. New X-Men cast, Avengers, Doomsday T. So let's get to the yeah. Incredibles 3. We'll circle back to all of that. But let's talk about the big stuff that really popped off here at D23 that everyone is talking about, getting tongues wagging. And that is, of course, the Marvel situation and the release of the X-Men cast that is confirmed there. Sadie Sink came out with Feige and then essentially said, like, let's meet the cast. And all these people came out. Of course, we'd heard about Kit Connor earlier. We'd heard about Samara Weaving. And then Jake Schreier was there as well. And then we had some surprises. Inde Navarrette in here as Rogue. And then we got Maya Boyd as Storm, and then Adam Driver. Oh yeah, and Christopher Abbott, of course, is Professor X. And then Adam Driver showed up there at a separate studio, the studio there in Britain. And so that's some. And then we got a new logo here as well for X-Men, and everyone was talking about this and the way this was all laid out. And it's so fascinating because, I mean, there are some people are like not 100% on board with this cast. There were some surprises. The Inde Navarrette thing is apparently a very big deal for a lot of people because there have been rumors, of course, from some of the pundits out there, some of the scoopers out there, that Kaylee Spaney was going to be Rogue. And we'd heard that Storm was only going to debut possibly in Black Panther 3, but clearly she's going to be part of the movie. But a lot of people, of course, wanted Jamie Lawson. I mean, we saw a bunch of people talk. I saw some influencers putting up videos of themselves, clipping out videos of themselves saying, I'm right. Jamie Lawson's my girl. She's going to get it. I'm right. And then it wasn't her at all. And even Jeff Snyder broke on the hot mic last week that he had heard another name that we talked about there that was going to be Storm, but it ended up being Maya Boyd. But some people are coming after Maya Boyd because she's a Broadway star, but she's never been on camera before to the extent that she'll be in this particular role. So you can't please everybody, ladies and gentlemen. And it's really surprising. I mean, it just is at some point you're just like, can't we do anything without having this energy around it? And it's unfortunate. Not that there isn't room for legitimate criticism or to say like, I really wanted this other person, but it does feel like I don't understand how the internet has turned on Inde Navarrette after her getting cast on Rogue. It's really kind of shocking to me because these were the same people who were falling all over themselves for her work in Obsession. And I even saw some people say like, oh, she's gone the superhero route. Like she wasn't in Superman and Lois. I think for like, I don't know how many seasons that was, like 4 seasons. She wasn't I think 70 episodes of Superman and Lois or something like that. So like, or she was 7th on the call sheet. I guess that's where it was on Superman and Lois. So she's been she went the superhero route before she did Obsession. So it's very interesting to me to see the reactions. I think some people also didn't like are not 100% sold on Christopher Abbott as Professor X. It's an interesting choice. Kind of an intense actor. We saw him in Poor Things, saw him in Wolfman with Julia Gardner. So it's an interesting choice. I like it because it's out of the box. It's unusual. And I think across the board, this is Marvel saying that we're going for younger actors, but we're going for younger actors who've really established themselves in the independent film world or on Broadway, right? And so I like that they're bringing these actors who have a little more edge to them, a little more nuance to them, and a little more electricity around them overall. And it seems pretty clear that Sadie Sink is going to be the leading voice of this team, I think. And Kit Connor probably going to be the co-lead, of course, as Cyclops. But it's a very interesting collection of young talent they've brought together. And for me, I go, okay, let's see what happens. I mean, I saw Grace Randolph being upset about it. I saw other people and her saying, like, they better keep the budget low. It's like, they don't need to do any of that. Like, it's Marvel. X-Men is what sells. What they need to worry about is making a damn good movie, having a really good script, and giving us a new introduction to these characters that's going to fit in the overall picture that they're trying to lay it out here for the mutant saga. So I'm a fan of the actors and actresses that they've put together for this. I think this looks like an interesting approach to it. And yes, it does have that indie vibe to it, which is what I think they really want to kind of hit hard to show you a new approach to X-Men. And look, I mean, Famke Janssen was the biggest star of the Fox X-Men when I guess Patrick Stewart, but and Ian McKellen to the other side, but like in the team itself of X-Men, there weren't, James Marsden wasn't this massive star. And so they've put this, Hugh Jackman, talk about coming from Broadway to play an X-Man. I mean, Hugh Jackman was essentially that, and it had been Doug Ray Scott, who was initially cast, of course, but then got hurt on Mission Impossible 2 and couldn't do it. So it wasn't like they were bringing together like these big names. Yeah, Halle Berry was a name, but she wasn't really considered like, a great actress at the time. She did end up winning Monsters, the Oscar for Monsters Ball. So it's, like, let's give a little bit of grace here and let's see what they can create. So I'm just like fascinated to see the reactions overall. And I also think, listen, I'm going to bring this up. I think Kevin also realized the team couldn't be, fully too white. So Inde Navarrette being of Mexican heritage, her coming in as Rogue, I think that's a good thing. And she's a damn good actress, as we saw in Obsession. and other things. And she's got a sexiness to her that I think you need to have for Rogue that I think she's going to nail. I'm not saying Kaylee Spaney couldn't have done that, but I certainly like the fact that Indy's going to get a chance to do this. So this is going to be fun to bring her like sexual electric energy to be a part of Rogue. Because a lot of people say that was missing from the Anna Paquin version of Rogue and that she was more Kitty Pryde than she was Rogue. So let's see what Indy can do with a role like this and where she can take it. And also, I as I said, but I also think this is interesting with the Maya Boyd situation. Clearly, they must have seen something with her in the audition. And from what I understand, Ryan Coogler was involved in this process because she's going to be in Black Panther 3, possibly explore a relationship with Black Panther, a romantic relationship with Black Panther. So you kind of want actors or directors on board to approve this. I mean, I think this is where I push back a little bit on the Supergirl situation, right? Like I've said before, that it was James Gunn who selected Millie Alcock without Craig Gillespie's input. And I think you have to have everybody involved who is going to direct your actor in a project. It doesn't mean you can't select them, but they should be involved. And I'd like the fact that Ryan Coogler was involved in the selection of Maya Boyd with Kevin Feige. The same thing happened with David Johnson. It was Ryan Coogler who reached out to Feige and said, this is the guy. This is the guy who's going to replace Chadwick Boseman. So I like that it's a collaborative effort. That's the way it should be, to be honest with you. Yeah, you can throw your weight around and pick whoever you want, but we saw how Supergirl turned out. And so, because I mean, with creatives, you want to get them invested in the things that they're doing. Having them have some sort of say or some sort of control or input is really important. And so I think that's what you're going to see. And I hope Maya Boyd knocks it out of the park. And everybody who's been like nervous about it or upset about it sits back and goes, damn, I guess she was the right choice. So I kind of appreciate that when you look at the situation. By the way, there's 450 of you joining us right now. Thank you so much. Appreciate you hanging out with me on a Monday morning. As I said, I'm riding solo today, but I want to hear from you all. The super coming in fast and furious. What do you got, PLD?
I just want to point out also the youth of the X-Men cast is actually to its benefit. You got a decade and a half of filming to do. And so you get all these young actors to grow with the series. And Maya Boyd, how can you complain? You haven't probably even seen, I don't know how many Maya Boyd's performances you guys have seen. So how can you complain about her yet? Wait till you see how she acts and then you can complain about her.
It's a good point, and people have pointed out the Broadway shows that she was in. A lot of people pointed out the reviews that she got for her work on those shows, and it was very, very positive. And so I agree, and I think a lot of people out there who are complaining about this, you're young people yourself, and you want to prove yourself. You want to get that opportunity to prove what you can do. Why not support young people to see what they can do with these roles? I mean, my bigger question is Jake Schreier. I don't have a question about the cast. I haven't seen Maya's work, but I'm going to assume that she's damn good. But everyone else has a track record of delivering good work. Jake Schreier, yes, I liked Thunderbolts, although I think it was a little undercooked. I haven't seen Jake really deliver a knockout of the park banger of a movie. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do with the X-Men situation.
I will throw out there, I loved Thunderbolts, and I think Jake Schreier has the perfect kind of touch for an X-Men film. That's what I kind of like so far.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see for sure. All right, get out of here. Damn it. God damn it, PLD. Get out of here. Anyway, but I love this idea. Now the question becomes, of course, Kevin Feige said this, right? That this is not the full cast, that there's more to come. So who else is coming down the pipeline, it being a part of this? Or are these going to be smaller characters that are going to come in? And so he's kind of playing that craftiness, saying technically there's more cast to come, but maybe not more X-Men to come. Because I know a lot of people are still hoping there'll be an Iceman and an Angel. A lot of people are wondering what's going to happen with Wolverine. And by the way, we heard that they're having talks with Daphne Keane about coming back to play X-23. So Daphne Keane, as PLD was pointing out, the age of this cast, Daphne Keane is also young and has a very strong social media following. So her coming in to essentially be the Wolverine of this X-Men, while you still have old man Logan wandering around doing his thing, I don't think that's a bad thing, to be honest with you. I don't think we need to bring in a new male Wolverine. I'd be quite happy with Daphne Keane as X-23 to give a new flavor of a new Wolverine in this universe. You're not gender switching. This is an actual character who is in the comics, So her coming in to be part of the X-Men, matching the age, I think could be really interesting because it's clear that Marvel doesn't want to lose Jackman. I was having a conversation with some of the people on my Patreon last night about this idea of whether if Jackman it's too long and he's too long in the tooth, he should go. But I was like, he just made $1.3 billion in a movie with Ryan Reynolds. Why would you get rid of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine as a business if you're still making a crap ton of money off Hugh Jackman as Wolverine? And Hugh's come out and said that he wants to continue playing Wolverine as long as possible. And there are rumors that him and Spider-Man, whichever version of Spider-Man is going to show up in Doomsday, are supposedly on a separate mission, and that's supposed to be a taste for a Spider-Man Wolverine movie down the road, like a like a Wolverine Deadpool movie we had 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. So that could be really interesting. So I like the idea of Old Man Logan still wandering around the universe, because remember, this is a new universe for him. This is not his main universe. So all kinds of adventures can be had with a Wolverine in a new universe. And then you have X-23 in this universe. It could completely work. It doesn't mean down the road you can't create another male Wolverine. Certainly you could have that possibility down the road, because remember in Logan, where we introduced X-23, they were experimenting on all kinds of kids. So it could be possible that another Wolverine is out there, and it could kind of loop in or bring in the Weapon X storyline that they only touched upon, I think, in Days of Future Past or Apocalypse. They touched on the Weapon X stuff in Apocalypse, but they haven't really dove into the Weapon X stuff quite as much. I know in X2 there was that with Stryker, and there's elements of that, but there's a way to explore that a little more fully from the run of the Weapon X in Wolverine that you could use to create the new Wolverine. I think that could be interesting as well. So I love the idea of X-23 being a part of this whole thing, and I don't think they need to do a new Wolverine just yet. I mean, that's the thing, which wipe the slate clean, let go of the past. Nonsense. No business would be like, you know what, you just made $1.3 billion. We're going to park you on the sideline and take a chance on an unknown quantity. That just doesn't make any sense business-wise, And so to me, I think we're going to see him being a part of this for a while longer. And so I'll be curious to see all of that as well. Let's see what else we're going to talk about here from D23. Yeah, there was the Ahsoka 2 season trailer. I thought this was a good trailer. I'm still not thoroughly convinced that it's a great trailer or this is going to be a good season of Ahsoka. I think I liked the fact that we got to see more action. We got to see an expanded approach to this season. And I kind of like the idea of Anakin coming back as a Force Ghost guide for Ahsoka, bringing Hayden to be a real big part of the trailer. Now, is he only in a couple of episodes? I don't know. Is he going to be someone she checks in with throughout? That could be interesting on a number of levels. But, Star Wars typically has used Force Ghosts as people who come in at certain times, certain spots, certain moments, but not predominantly the focus of the series. So I wonder how much we're going to see Hayden in the show, because this trailer makes it feel like Hayden's going to be a big part of the show. So will we see that as like her conscience with all she's doing? But I like that we're getting more with Hera. I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead, getting a little more fleshed out with Harrison Dula, more with Sabine, more with Ezra. Where are we going with all this? And of course, Thrawn in there and looking a little more svelte, shall we say? Maybe some of the criticism got to him, and he dropped a few pounds there overall. So I like where they're going with it. My fear is that we've seen the best of the show in the trailer. So we will see. We will see, because that season 1 started, I think, great, and then fell off a cliff. And they smartly kept Balin to a very limited amount. The actor who played the Hound playing Balin now, there's only a limited amount of him in the trailer. So just a little tease to get you excited. And I thought that was cool. I did not see the leaked Starfighter trailer. Some of you may have seen that. I didn't see that. But we'll see where that takes us with all of that. I want to bring up something. Hold on. Before we leave it just occurred to me as I was talking, I want to make sure we don't leave this. Hold on a second.
While you're looking, I want to
go ahead.
Say to the fans out there, my source was wrong. I'm sorry. It happens. I actually was told that Starfighter was going to be public and Ahsoka was going to be private because they're going to start focusing on the bigger things. But I heard, I went back to my source. My source says that Disney decided to not put the Starfighter teaser out publicly because they didn't want it to get lost in the shuffle. They very much are proud of it, and they wanted to have its own special day on its own where it would be the only thing talked about instead of everything else.
That makes a lot of sense when you look at it from that prism. They went that direction. Because I mean that's you do want things to stand out. You want Starfighter to be a new, how can I say this, a new expression of where Star Wars is going. So you want it to be on its own. So that makes a lot of sense as well.
And from what I've heard that the trailer the teaser went over very well. It looked very cinematic, and it looked like we were establishing a lot of new characters and stuff. Like pretty much a lot of people have been asking for. So we'll find out when it comes out.
Is that because you leaked it? Did you watch the leak?
This is what I've heard from people. What I've heard from people. I don't watch leak stuff. Come on now.
What I heard. So I'm putting this up. All right. So I'm gonna put this up. This is something that Samara. Oh wait. Is it a video? Oh, is it considered? Hold on. Maybe it's considered a video. Oh no, I don't understand why that's. Oh, I have too many things in here. God damn it! I have too many things in here. Oh, too many files. All right. What can I take down? What is this? I'm taking this down, dude. This is the Spider-Man thing that he put up.
Janky Spider-Man that Kristian saw.
Can I delete it? Can I delete it?
Give me a second.
Okay. I'm gonna take that down because I want to add something here to this conversation. Stop putting it up. I want to add something to this. What is this? Is this your little? Right, this is another one. All right, cool. Thanks, man. All right, so I want to put this up because if there's anyone who understood the assignment of the character they are going to play in X-Men, it is Samara Weaving. Look at this photo here. She put on her IG stories. All right, she's lying, sunning out there, reading Emma Frost comics, right? And the picture makes sure to take a shot of that right butt cheek of hers. She is in a thong bikini, sunning out, reading Emma Frost. Okay, this is incredibly smart from her. She understood the assignment. She knows that people are thirsty for Emma, and this is the way to go. And having her show the sexual side, the hot side of Emma Frost. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you get people on board and get them to understand that she knows exactly what the assignment is in this situation. So I like it. I think she's smart. I think she knows how to work social media really well. I think she knows she's hot, and she is going to add an element that we have not had really much in the Marvel universe. Even Scarlett Johansson, she was lusted over by people, but she didn't necessarily put out videos and photos like this because she's
look at these knockers.
I didn't say that. That's all Kalinowski. But I think Samara understands that there's nothing wrong with having a little sexiness and getting the nerds a little hot under the collar or in their pants to get people excited for this X-Men movie. I think there's a real shot that this film is going to be a tone change in the MCU, and they're going to go into places that they were maybe hesitant to go into in the past. Yes, I agree. Owen says very Emma of her. Yes, absolutely. Very Emma of her. So I think this is a smart situation all around for her to do it that way. So I just wanted to make sure we gave her flowers before we left that section of the conversation. As far as the rest of the stuff, what else were we? Yes, let's talk about the VisionQuest trailer. That was pretty cool. I thought that VisionQuest trailer was awesome. It really had, my reaction is up there, and my reaction to the Doomsday trailer. We'll talk about those two things as well next here. Now, I thought the VisionQuest trailer was good. I thought it had the right elements that evoked the Agatha season and then the WandaVision season as well, because we're having him create a world where he is exploring what's going on with him, and it is essentially a AI world, or so to speak, kind of like, and it had shades of Lawnmower Man as I was watching the trailer, creating that alternate reality that he is living in to figure out what's going on. You have James Spader back as his dad, and it isn't just as Ultron, it's James Spader. I love the massive beard almost like an old philosopher from those times in the 1800s, having a back and forth with him. We have all these other AI that are a part of this thing, or other sentients that are part of this thing as well, with what's his face coming back here, Jarvis coming back to be a part of this thing. And even Todd Stashwick posted a picture of himself as Paladin. He will be a part of this thing as well. So I like the energy. I like where it's going. I like Paul Bettany's vision. I like that it's a father-son story, which is something Marvel really perfected in the first few phases of what it was doing. So that's going to be interesting to see. And then he's fighting to figure out what memories are his, what memories are the other visions, what he's connected to. And then, of course, we have Tommy in this with the other son. So that's going to be fascinating to see how this all plays out. They recast the actor because he's older to take the role here. So that'll be curious. And the actress from Picard season 3, the Irish actress, I think she's Irish. She's in this as well to bring an interesting energy to all of this as well. So yeah, I thought this was really good. I really enjoyed what we got here, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they create this world and what they show us. Will Wanda show up? Will we get Agatha showing up? Will we get the other kids showing up? Will we get other people popping in and out? Will there be a Tony Stark appearance? Will Robert Downey Jr. show up as Tony Stark, because he is the one that created all of this stuff, right? So I'll be interested. Did I miss it? I mean, I don't think I saw Friday in this. Did I see Carrie? I don't know if did anyone see Carrie Condon in this? Because I didn't. Did you see Carrie Condon PLD? Because I did not. Did you?
I did not either, to be honest with
you. So I wonder if she's going to be a part of this or not. And we just had a new sentient, or whatever you want to call it, introduced in Spider-Man, right? We had Naomi Watts coming in as Evie. So I don't think she'll make an appearance, but this is going to be interesting how they explore all of this with VisionQuest and what it leads to. Will this open the door not only to bringing Wanda back and maybe putting this family back together, because I feel like if you're going to bring in Mister Sinister, you got to bring Wanda back with Vision and the kids and Agatha. But if you're going, what's the next step of this situation? And that is possibly West Coast Avengers. You know, we just had Wonder Man season 1. Wonder Man is part of West Coast Avengers. Hawkeye is still out there. Jeremy Renner keeps saying he still wants to come back and play the character. So there's possibilities that West Coast Avengers could be a part of the new phases coming through. We will see where it all ends up as well. And then that Doomsday trailer dropped. Sweet Mary, Mother of God. That Doomsday trailer. I got to tell you, I fucking love that thing. Again, my reaction is up on my channel. I went crazy for that trailer. I really loved it. I've been one of those people that's been like, well, the build up for Doom hasn't been that strong. I'm not sure what that's all about. But we will see what it's all about here with that. So I'm curious to see what we're going to get overall once that Doomsday movie pops off, because seeing him coming in as Doom and now hearing, how Vanessa Kirby starts that trailer talking about he was a good man, he was caring, he was kind. I thought he was lost. I didn't know he was broken. Having a Reed go, did you do this, Doom? Did you do this? And all the wreckage there, and seeing the somberness of that trailer as well, and the teasing clear that he is going to kill people. You are living on borrowed lives. We've heard the rumors for the last year and a half or 2 years that there's going to be a culling in the Marvel universe, that Doom is essentially going to be used as a kind of meta person who is firing people from the Marvel universe to kind of pare down the characters and move into the mutant saga. So that seems to be behind Thor, in my opinion, behind Thor's anger when he says, you're going to beg for hell before I let you go, right? You're going to beg for the hell before. And that to me would lead me to believe that he has killed a number of people that Thor cares about, maybe even his daughter, which would be fucking insane for Doom to do that. And so Thor would have to fight back on all of that. Now, I brought this up in the trailer in my reaction. I think other people have said this as well, but like there are very familiar beats here. Baron Zemo walked the same path, lost my child, lost my wife to the Avengers and what they did in Sokovia and all of that. So, and that inspired me to seek revenge. And of course, now everybody likes Baron Zemo. He's now an anti-hero. But like, there are shades that are similar. So how are they going to make the Doom story different? How are they going to make the Doom motivation different? What is it about losing? And Kingpin is the same way, right? Kingpin over Vanessa and his child, like losing them, whether they be dead in certain storylines or whether she divorces him and leaves him. They explore that in the comics. So we've seen this as a storyline before. What's going to be unique about the storyline in Doomsday that's going to make it stand out? That's the real question when we look at this. So we will see when we finally get a chance to see the movie. But I thought the visuals here, I thought the overall like seriousness of the tone, I thought was great. And I thought his voice worked so much better in this trailer than it did in the previous trailer. And I think this trailer did a great job of quieting some of us who've been saying that the buildup hasn't been strong enough to get us to be invested in the Doom storyline. This trailer gave us a lot to kind of cling into, hook into, and see where we're going on this journey. And of course, we're probably going to get 2 more trailers and TV spots before we get to this movie coming out, which is in about 4 months, ladies and gentlemen. Put that, I mean, we are in August. We're about to be in September, October, November, December. 4 months, yo. Better start looking at Christmas trees very soon. I know we've seen the Halloween decorations already out, and it's fucking August. So, but don't be surprised if we start seeing Christmas decorations in the next month or so. People love the back half of the year. So we will see what happens there and all of that. All right, I'm going to play the ads here. We got to do some ads, but I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Let me know what you think about these big announcements here at D23 with Marvel and everything they explore there in Star Wars. Let me know what you thought about it. If you want to chime in about Incredibles 3, you want to chime in about what's the Ghost Market, you want to chime in on Coco 2, which almost had me crying as I was doing my live reaction to this panel, which is still up on my channel as well. Like all that stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are on it, and send in your super chats here. We're up to 25, I think. Let's get it to at least 75 today. Let's get big numbers here, or send in big amounts so I can try to win the week here. Riding solo. Everyone else is going to have a co-host throughout this week. I'm riding solo, so help me get into contention, possibly win. I would appreciate it. And shout out to Mr. Cook, who won last week here. Mr. Cook won last week. Shout out to him. I'm sure he's happy and not flipping tables this week for that.
You have offended me for the very last time, Mr. Cook.
It's Mr. Cook, the winner from last week. But all right, let's listen to Cash App, and I'll be back right after this. And keep sending in your super chats. We'll be right back.
I don't know how far back it was, but Cash App came to the show, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. It's a must, have to be. If you're not up to speed already, Cash App, it's more than just a safe way to send and receive money. With the Cash App card, you unlock tons of perks without all the hidden fees. Now, enjoy benefits like exclusive early access to nationwide concert pre-sales. You get Kendrick Lamar, Sabrina Carpenter, to name just a couple recent examples, plus discounts on everyday purchases and popular brands you're probably already spending money on. You add your card to your digital wallet, and you make your money moves easier. Cash App does more than you think when it comes to having your back and making sure your money stays your money. Cash App just released a new status program for the way people actually spend called Cash App Green. So when you spend at least $500 a month with the Cash App card, you earn green status. That unlocks benefits like up to $200 of free overdraft coverage. If you overdraft unexpectedly, there are no hidden fees. You also unlock higher borrow limits and custom personalized cashback offers every Friday at places that you love to shop. Cash App can do way more than you think to make your money work for you. If you direct deposit at least $300 in paychecks each month and use the Cash App card for purchases, you can earn interest on your savings. There's no hidden fees, no minimum balance requirement. Don't let your money sit around and just gather dust. Make it work for you. Take advantage of interest savings on Cash App today. So new Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use that code CashApp10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Cash App Visa Debit Flex Cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, and the Bancorp Bank, N.A., pursuant to a license from Visa USA, Inc. See terms and conditions for the Sutton Prepaid Card, Sutton Debit Flex Card, and Bancorp Debit Flex Card. Cash App Green features savings, direct deposit, roundups, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. So Cash App, get it done. Don't let your money just sit around. Do something with it. Cash App. They're the best.
When it goldfish here. When it goldfish here.
What the hell? What is this? What is this? What's with the goldfish? What's going on with this situation? Where's the other one? Where's the other one? Oh, yeah, you already put that one up, huh? What is all? I don't even know what all. Oh, why is this up? Wait, oh! Oh, no! Wait, oh! Oh, no! Wait, oh! Oh, no! Wait, oh! That motherfucker almost killed me. So let me tell you something, PLD. That fool almost killed me. That day.
Did you like the beat, though? Did you like the beat there? Did
Yeah,
you like the beat?
It's a good beat. You know what? Ironically, stay up here, Paul. I was watching the match between him and me and Gaia yesterday because let me tell you why. And stay up here for this one, PLD, because Kristian wanted me to talk about this today. He texted me over the weekend. All right, I can tease this right now. This is big news. This is big news. I don't have a sound cue, so. Let's see. What did he say to me? He said, "I have an idea I wanted to throw by you, Rocha. If I hit my Kickstarter goal within 2 days, once he launches it, I will bring the Schmoedown back for one full tournament." You're hearing it now. Kristian Harloff asked me to tease this here. He wants to bring back the Schmoedown for one full tournament if he hits his Kickstarter goal within 2 days. He says, I was thinking if I reached in day one, I'll do if he reached the goal on day one, he'll do a 16-man tournament. But if I don't reach it, and if I reach it in a day or two, I'll do an 8-man tournament. If I reach it in day 3, I'll do a special live event with 2 matches. And if I don't reach it by those days, I'll reach it by day 4. Then I will do one special digital Schmoedown event with 2 matches. So this is why I was watching my match with Guy yesterday, because
Getting ready.
I am mother effing rusty, PLD. I am so rusty. I haven't played a competitive trivia match in years. And so I was watching somebody and bro. I mean, watching some of those old matches, and I should start doing the reactions like I promised to do on my channel. Like, I don't remember half of these answers. And I just was watching some of those. And Guy and I legitimately had heat. Like, you can feel the anger between me and him, although we ended up becoming, like, in a way, coming together against Bibiani. No one can bring people together more than Bibiani, for better or worse. But I thought it was an interesting match to rewatch after all this time, because he was trying really hard.
Oh, yeah, he was definitely. I mean, I like the idea that you guys had heat with each other actually made it better. Made the show better, like, in a way, because you could feel that tension. It's like real wrestling when it bleeds over just a little bit.
Right.
Edge of Jeff Hardy kind of thing. That kind of makes it a little bit more intriguing and a little more what's going on.
Edge and Matt Hardy. You mean Edge and Matt Hardy?
Matt Hardy,
not Jeff Hardy. Right. Although Jeff, I'm sure, was involved in some way. But yeah.
Some more. We won't go into those details. But he texted me this too as well over the weekend as an idea. I was like, I would love that idea. I have a bunch of unused questions that we never got to. So looking for a place to put them. If I need to put a few more, although I've been watching some matches too, and I realized how rusty I've been getting as well from stopping writing them. I'm like,
oh, right,
much anymore. But that'd be very, very exciting for a lot of people. A lot of people have been seeing it on the Vault channel. They've been talking about it. I would love to get another match together, get the band back together for one more ride, so to speak.
I know it would be fun. I have that TKO that I want to wash out of my mouth, and I want to have with Dan, and I want to be able to play one more time to see what we can do. So if we hit those Kickstarter goals, then a 16-man tournament, that would just be insane. That would just be insane. I wish we could rent out. Say that again.
I have to hire PJ back.
I don't know if PJ want to come back. I'll be honest with you. PJ seems very happy. I don't know if he'd want to walk back into the realm of doing this stuff. But I mean, people are, have blown up out of the Schmoedown, like your boy from Action, who I was kind of making fun of the other day, him being a pundit. Now we know that Abby is kicking it over at New Rockstars, kicking ass over at New Rockstars.
Yeah.
I'm still doing my channel. Riley's doing his thing, what he's done. And Ken is out there with the blathering. So, and Ellis, of course, still touring the damn country. And Jen is out there becoming a really good stand-up comic herself. So
absolutely,
like, to bring the band all this talent back together again could be interesting. And I know that Kristian still has connections with Thad and RB3. Like, would some of the people come back who were part of the production to be a part of this thing? So it could be very interesting, to be honest.
He still has kind of connections with the boat, Brad Gilmore, another connection we could use.
Yeah, the boat, Houston. Of course. How could I forget the boat? Yes.
Houston was a great live event. So, that was a fun time.
Listen, the Lady Outlaw walked in on me watching the match, and she said, "Don't you fucking dare." And I was like, I'm sorry, Baba. I'm sorry, baby. Sorry,
like Rocky
baby.
and Adrian.
She saw the hat hanging on the end of the. Yeah. She's like, "You can't win, outlaw." It's just what she said. Usually, what she said. Essentially. So, no. She's very supportive, but she was also.
You can't win.
Yes. She said, "Are we doing this again? Are we doing this again?" And I said, "Baby, one last ride, one last time, another last ride, one last time."
Just trust
So
me.
we'll see.
One last time.
I promise. One last time. I'm like Brett Favre. I promise you, I'm retired. I'm not retired. But we'll see in the situation. I hope we make it happen because that would be a lot of fun. And a 16-man tournament, you can get everybody involved. I think there could be a lot of fun. Rachel coming in, don't you think? Yeah, I don't know if Clark would do it. I don't know where Clark is at. Dan's still going strong, of course. I should have mentioned Dan with his channel. So
Sam would probably do it. I think he has to fight.
Please. Sam would absolutely do it. I forgot how we tore him apart on that particular match because he chimed in on the dip thing with Roger Rabbit question. I forgot how much we attacked Sam throughout the showdown.
I would love it.
Yeah,
so.
we'll see. We'll see. So just a little tease there, guys. When Kristian announces the Kickstarter, there's possibilities that we will be that he'll be a part of it. So we will see. Yeah, right. You can't play Rocky. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. We'll see if we put it all together. I would love to have another shot at going at these guys over trivia, but of course, let me tell you something that Matt Atchity said to me years ago doing the tournament, because Matt's older than me. And he said to me, dude, trust me, once you cross a certain age, the ability to remember certain things on the spur of the moment, timing wise, it is not as easy as that. And he's right. As I said to PLD, watching some of the old matches, because I watched a couple of them over the weekend, I was like, oh, fuck, I don't even remember this answer. I don't even know what this answer is. And yet I answered it on the show. And so that was a real thing. And plus, I think some of those 2-pointers might have been 3 or 4 pointers. Some of those 2-pointers, some of those questions that were thrown out there. So yeah.
Well, the question, I didn't really start writing questions to the end, so you can't blame me. Right. But we definitely went along. They kind of some of the questions. You look around like season 1 versus like season it's completely different story question wise. I think by the end, actually, that's the one good thing. Like the last 2 seasons, I think PJ and I really hammered down what the question structure should be, generally speaking. Sure. It helped you guys out, and in a way, it's kind of you knew what we were going to go for in these movies, so you knew what to study, which is nice. But it was always deep choices. We try to make it as fair as possible. I think we did a pretty good job.
Well, and I think what will be really interesting if we do this tournament, there's no patterns to follow. The thing that JT did that was really smart, him and April, they wrote down the movies in the first couple of seasons that were constantly being referenced. And they're like, well, these are the movies we're going to get the questions. And so they would dive into these movies. So it's very smart analytical approach that JT had. I was just study everything. But JT was more like, what are the movies they're actually mentioning? And so I think if I had done that approach, I would have won a couple or 3 more matches, maybe.
There are people who came up to me and PJ afterwards and let us know that they were following our Letterboxd specifically.
Oh, shit. Oh, wow.
Mind games, man.
There you go. It's mind games always. So everyone will be fresh to come in. So that'll be interesting with all of that. But listen, I've got my energy back. As I said, I lost 40 pounds. I got my energy back to play the Outlaw one more time. I'd have to get back in real shape to be able to. Now I know back then I was heavier, but I had more air in me. I was more of a blowhard. Now I'm a little more calm. You might not believe this. I'm a little more calmer, a little more relaxed. So the idea of ramping back up into the Outlaw unsettles me because it took a lot out of me physically after those matches and after those post-game press conferences, whatever it was, with Jen and with Emma, that I'd be exhausted the next day. Now it's I'd really be exhausted. So I've got to get back into fighting shape. And if we do this, maybe I'll detail it, do a whole series of me training to get ready for the Schmoedown, which would be a lot of fun. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, Rust, old man, Outlaw Rogue. Yeah, absolutely. But look at you, man. I still got hair on my head. What's your excuse, Mike? All right, let's move on to the box office. Let's talk about the box office, PLD, and keep sending in your super chats. We're at 26 people. I'd love to get to at least 75. Let's get to at least 75. Give me 49 more super chats. Send in your love For those of you who can donate big numbers, would love to get big numbers so I can go toe-to-toe with the duos that are coming up the rest of the week. And remember, when you send in super chats, you're not only sending in super chats to support me being on the show, you're also supporting the Kristian Harloff channel, because it goes to the Kristian Harloff channel, which brings all of you hours and hours of entertainment every week. So send in your love as we go along here. So let's see. Where is the okay, here we go. Let's hit it. Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's $2 billion here, everybody. Is this how come I keep forgetting? There we go. Spider-Man Brand New Day hits $2 billion. Pretty amazing to see the power of this movie continuing as it goes along here, and it gets bigger and bigger every week in the numbers that it crosses. Here we go. The Web Slingers now surpassed $2 billion in global ticket sales after just 3 weekends of release. It is the second fastest film to reach that level after Avengers Endgame, which it did in 11 days, as opposed to Spidey's 17 days. Overseas numbers are in for the weekend, which have pushed the total of the film to $785 million domestically, which is only 115. I mean, they could get to $1 billion. They're only $115 million away from $1 billion, and $1.3 billion overseas. By the end of Sunday, the film is expected to have grossed $2.022 billion, one of only 8 films in history to hit that mark. No one seems quite clear where it will end its run, but the film could prove a serious challenger to both Endgame and the original Avatar. Meanwhile, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey has passed the $500 million domestic mark at $504 million. It now sits just shy of the $536 million domestic total of The Dark Knight Rises, which, surprising to me considering. That's insane. That I guess because people love The Dark Knight, they thought The Dark Knight Rises was going to be amazing. So it is Nolan's most successful film domestically. But I mean, there are so many better films than Dark Knight Rises that Nolan's directed that should have that title. But that's how it goes. I also wanted to hit on what's this all about? Can I just go to Variety without hitting there we go. I also want to hit on this other stuff. Where is it? I want to get the box office for End of Oak Street as well. So hold on a second, because I think it underperformed a little bit. So let's bring that up real quick. Oh yeah, here we go. The box office. Here we go. Let's take a look at this one. So let's stop sharing this and share this other one. Let's get out of this so we will all follow along. Where is it? Here we go. Spider-Man Returns. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, End of Oak Street and Paramount's animated sequel, Paul, each debuted above 20 million. So, but Spider-Man remained number one. So this is an interesting situation with the End of Oak Street, because I've seen it's overall positive reviews, but there have been a few negative reviews. And, there have been those reactions to the film. Like, people are like, I loved it. They didn't explain anything, but I still loved it. It's a great fun time. One last final summer movie before we get into the fall. And I totally get that. But clearly that's also code for, I just turned my brain off and had a good time. And so maybe there's a feeling like people were enjoying Odyssey and enjoying Spider-Man. Maybe the End of Oak Street is getting caught up here in the grind of these two films that have much more to say, are much more nuanced or layered in their approach to the populist storytelling that they're doing within those particular films. And this End of Oak Street didn't quite get there overall. And it's not going to all of a sudden jump up. So this is going to drop probably 60 to 70% next week. So I think this is a bit of a disappointment, I would say, for the End of Oak Street. And I have to say, it doesn't bode well for Coyote versus Acme next week, which is also looked at as maybe not doing so well. And the End of Oak Street overall has made $47 million globally. As I was saying, only $20 million domestically, but it was made for 80 to 92 million according to Wikipedia. So how much of that is true, we'll see. But it seems like it's probably not going to make a big profit. If it matches its production budget, I guess that's okay. But it seems like it's going to be a bit of a disappointment. And so it's another bad result for Warner Brothers. And I was looking at one of these breakdowns of the Warner Brothers situation, and it's just not a good thing overall here. Hold on, let me bring up the wrap, because the wrap was giving us a little. Okay, so The year kicked off with Emerald Fennell's divisive. Let's take a real quick with Warner Brothers. The year kicked off with Emerald Fennell. Let me stop sharing so I'm on the screen fully. So I'm going to read this to you guys. Emerald Fennell's Divisive Wuthering Heights ended up being a soft hit at $242 million worldwide. But then The Bride, which I personally like The Bride. I bought it in 4K. I like The Bride. $24 million worldwide on an $80 million budget. They Will Kill You made $19.4 million on a $20 million budget. Lee Cronin's The Mummy made $90 million on a $22 million budget. So that's not too bad. Profit, yes, but not a great big profit. I'm sure they wanted something bigger than that. Mortal Kombat 2, $129 million worldwide on an $80 million budget. Remember, you typically have to make 2.5 times to start seeing profits. So that one didn't do that. Supergirl, $126 million on a $180 million budget. And Evil Dead Vern, $71 million made on a $20 million budget. So that is a profitable installment in the Evil Dead franchise, but it wasn't like a huge hit like, say, Backrooms or Obsession was with the $20 million budget. So it doesn't look good with now the End of Oak Street not doing strong overall with its opening weekend. And yes, Dune 3 is coming. Practical Magic 2 is coming. The Cat in the Hat is coming. Maybe people excited. Digger's the big, I don't know what the F the box office is going to be for this movie. It's only 2 hours and 8 minutes instead of the 2 hours and 40 that some people had speculated. So this is going to be an interesting ending of the year for Warner Brothers. Looking at the way the summer and the spring did not do them well overall, will the fall bring them something better? Because I think Dune 3, as I said, if Dune 3 is good, is going to make $1 billion. I truly believe it's going to make $1 billion if Dune 3 is good, but I don't know what the Cat in the Hat is going to make. Did we really need another animated version of that? I don't know what that's going to do overall. And what's the other one that's coming? Oh, and Digger, as I said, I think Practical Magic 2 is going to be like the Devil Wears Prada 2. I think that's going to make money. I think Practical Magic 2 is going to make money. You're bringing back all the OG people. You're going to have some fun with that. So I think that truly has the potential to make a lot of money. But Digger is the biggest unknown to see what's going to happen with that movie. I could see that movie crashing and burning, and I can see that movie surprising the shit out of everybody. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Mike thinks no effing way. So bookmark these tweets, bookmark these posts, because Clayface is coming as well. Sorry, Mike. Thanks for reminding me. Clayface is coming as well. So that could be a good situation for Warner Brothers overall. But the reason I think Dune 3 is going to make $1 billion is because the first one made $400 billion. The second one made, $400 million. The second one made over $700 million. So exponentially $300 million increase. And both of those films were incredible. Both of those films were overall seen as epics, nominated for Oscars, and people are watching them at home. And so there's an accessibility and excitement. Plus that those trailers have been incredible. So I think absolutely that film is over 90% on Rotten Tomatoes with the critics and with the fans. That's absolutely going to make $1 billion. Absolutely. All through Christmas, not even a question in my opinion. Not even a question. And I think Doomsday obviously is going to make $2 to $3 billion because that looks good after this last trailer overall. So yeah, we will see. Yeah. So what? I know, Mike. I know it's going up against. So what, Mike? Oppenheimer and Barbie. Look at fucking Doom and Spider-Man, or Odyssey and Spider-Man rather. They're both making a crap ton of money, and they're up against each other. So come on. All right, let's. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Rat Tomatoes. That's right, Rat Tomatoes. Speaking of Doomsday, let's move on to this story here. We'll hit a couple of these before we get to your super chats. Keep sending them in, everybody. We're at over 30 of them, so keep sending them in as we go along. Let's take a look at this one with the box office talk. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Which one is it? There it is. Okay, I'll remember that for next time. All the box office talk in the past few weeks has been about Nolan's The Odyssey and Spider-Man Brand New Day. Both films have been critically well received, proven box office darlings, blah, blah, blah. Combined with Oppenheimer back, it proves that two major films can occupy the same release window. Oh, interesting. Combined with Oppenheimer back in 2023, it proves that two major films can occupy the same release window without issue and should give both Disney and Warner Brothers some relief as they head into the openings of Avengers Doomsday and Doom Part 3 on December 18th. Oh! Anyway, this weekend, Disney opened up full advance ticket sales for Avengers Doomsday around 4 months in advance. Those sales followed premium format pre-sales on 1,000 screens going on sale in July last month, around the time of Comic-Con. Now The Wrap is reporting that after just 2 days of pre-sales, Avengers Doomsday is approximately 65% ahead of the pace set by the first 2 days of pre-sales for Spider-Man Brand New Day, a film which opened at 365 domestically and over 900 million worldwide. No major blockbuster has started advanced ticket sales this early. Even Spider-Man didn't start pre-sales until 1.5 months before release, so it's not clear how reflective these numbers are. Meanwhile, wide pre-sales for Doom Part 3 have not begun. That film will have exclusive play on IMAX throughout the holidays. The trade says the few IMAX 70mm screenings have been already offered have seen dozens of sellouts on the film's opening weekend and are expected to continue well past Christmas and the $714 million global total of its predecessor. There you go. So, you can keep crying to me that you think it's not going to make $1 billion. The public is going to shit on your take because it's going to make over $1 billion. Don't even worry. If it's good, don't even worry about it. So, it's clear that we are eventizing as a society. We are eventizing. We are buying into the eventizing of these movies, and a majority of the public is paying the money if the movies are good. The Odyssey was good. Spider-Man Brand New Day was good. Back then, Barbie was good. Oppenheimer was good. People are going to spend the money if you eventize the film and deliver a good product. So I absolutely think, obviously Doomsday has the potential to hit $3 billion. I thought Spider-Man had a real shot, but it slowed down in that second weekend of the numbers. And right now, 2.5, 2.7 seems possible for Spider-Man. But with Doomsday, clearly this rollout has been amazing. So all the people complaining about it, you're just really small mice, like chirping away in the corner of a room full of huge adults who are not even listening to you because they're going to go see this movie. And you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to criticize. You're entitled to have issues with everything. But this thing is a fucking juggernaut, man. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah.
I'm just curious where the steak dinners are coming from that you're buying, Kristian.
For which one? For Dune?
Yeah.
Yeah, please. You're so dreamy. It's going to make $1 billion. It's not even. It's Christmas. People want to spend their money, and if it's a damn good movie, man, I think it's going to be great. Oh God, I'm so hoarse right now. Sorry, guys. Are you zooming in on my books? Please. What do you want to talk about? Look at my books. But yeah, so we'll see where this all goes. But I think it's Christmas, it's Christmas. And I think kids are going to be out. People are going to be wanting to go see films over and over and over again. I think Dune and I think Odyssey Odyssey is where Dune is going, right? Odyssey is the blueprint for Dune. It's a film of a story that a lot of people thought couldn't be filmed. Denis Villeneuve has a name like Christopher Nolan. Like people know they're going to get quality films from Denis Villeneuve. Now, do they go and see the Denis Villeneuve films? Yeah, Blade Runner 2049 didn't do so well, but I mean, Dune 1 made 400 million. Dune 2 made 700 million. So people will go because once you develop trust with the audience will show up for your stuff if you're continuing down this path. With Nolan, look at the Odyssey. All those people were clamoring that the Odyssey was going to crash and burn, and it took a massive dump on their faces, and it's still going and still making money, and no end in sight for the Odyssey. And that's a premier eventized film. I think Dune has that artistic premier eventized energy like the Odyssey has, which is why I think it's going to make $1 billion again if it's good. But with Doomsday, that's the Spider-Man blueprint, right? It's populist filmmaking. Yes, it's going to be about something really poignant and hard to watch, probably. But you've got the heroes, you've got the villains, and it's setting up what we're going to be seeing coming down the road with Secret Wars and what have you. So you've got that energy to it. So I think it's going to be just fine. And people will spend. People will have money to spend to see both of these movies over and over again. And it's not like January and February are big months where a lot of great big films come out. They will rule the roost. There'll be 2 kaijus rolling through December into January into February as well. So that's what I think. Yeah. So we will see. All right. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, we should definitely talk about this. Well, let's talk about Lanterns. Did we talk about Lanterns PLD already? Yeah, let's talk about Lanterns. All right. So
we did not.
We didn't? Okay. Lanterns episode 1 was last night. I thought this was a hell of a pilot episode for this, or first episode for this season. I really thought Kyle Chandler was incredible. playing the two different versions of Hal Jordan that we saw. Well, three if you include 1996 on that 60 Minutes interview. I thought the way they de-aged him in that interview was great. I thought him showing up as the consciousness of Hal, being like a little nicer, a little more open, and looking slightly younger. And the grizzled Hal that we got throughout most of the episode, and that relationship with him and Aaron Pierre's Jon Stewart. I thought Aaron Pierre was great. Let me tell you something. As an actor, when you're watching other actors who are damn good and are successful at what they're doing, you're looking to see why. What is it about what they do that is making them stand out? And playing stillness to a guy who is a grizzled, angry, quote unquote, possible has-been for the Green Lantern situation, that's not easy to do. Playing fearless, playing still, having your moments to still like deliver certain lines in a certain way, it's not easy to do. And I thought Aaron Pierre did an excellent job in the show last night. I also think it was great to see Kelly MacDonald back. Of course, she had been in Boardwalk Empire, so people love her at HBO. So it was great to see her be a part of this thing as well. I think the accent, not 100% on board, but I liked it. I liked her overall in the show. I thought Garrett Dillahunt was great. Who is putting the mystery out there? Who is this guy? Who is his family? Why are they trying to recruit Hal to be a part of this whole situation? And the mystery of it all that would lead to in 2026 with what appears to be Hal on those bleachers, still wearing the clothes he was wearing 10 years prior in the 2016 section of the show. So this is going to be interesting. And you can't ignore, because it's Damon Lindelof, you can't ignore the commentary they're making. This is not, how can I say this? It's not subtle. In my opinion, it's not subtle. To lead with a 60 minutes segment, considering all that's been happening with 60 Minutes and CBS, that's not subtle. To have one of your guys, to have a Will Macon saying like, essentially, I want to recruit you to help defend people born on Earth from people not born on Earth, the idea of illegal aliens coming in. This is not subtle stuff, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely what they're using as the approach to telling this story that is a murder mystery. I think there are twists and turns to come. I think there are things that we're going to see that we think are going in one direction and they're going in a different direction. I have not gotten any of the episodes ahead of time, so I'm reacting to it. I did a live reaction last night after the episode was over, live reaction review about it and talking about it. And I like that they've set the groundwork for where they're going with all of this. And you don't know who to trust. And I like that Jon Stewart was like, I don't trust anybody, and seeing that. And I dug the guy, I think his name is Chris Coy, the actor who played Waylon, whatever his name is, Waylon Rogers, I think his name was, whatever his name was, who was the truck driver that they arrest at the high school and then interrogate. That interrogation scene, the way they built to that interrogation scene, I thought was really well done in this episode. And I thoroughly enjoyed that as well. So I like the idea and the ring. Some people I know came in last night on my live show and we're talking about, well, do you like that he doesn't have the ring? They don't have the rings together at the same time. Yeah, let the show play itself out. Let the show breathe. And I think all these people are like, they did it. They killed him. We don't know yet. We don't know who that is or what that is. The show introduced the consciousness. The show also introduced that 14 different species can pass as human beings without being detected. They also had Hal say the aliens are really good at imitating humans and having papers and having people lie for them. So who is that on the bleachers? I don't know. So for people to just take that and run with it because they want to push their agenda rather than letting a show unfold itself, I think are doing a disservice to the rhetoric and the conversation, the actual honest conversation we can have about a show. And I saw some people even be like, what have they done? They didn't tell us everything. And I'm like, well, why do you want the whole show in the first episode? What is wrong with you all? Like let it roll itself out. Let's have some fun with this thing and see where it goes. So, and I also want to, the Obama part in the Midwest, I thought that was really funny as well. Yeah. You're a rural Midwestern guy, and all you have to say about Barack Hussein Obama is that he had some birth certificate controversy. I thought that was really funny as well. Again, these are banging through. So yeah, I think this is the problem. Oh, the leaks were true. I didn't watch it. No, well, why don't you watch it? See if you enjoy the show, and the leaks may not be telling you the truth because we don't know who that is really yet. So questions abound. And where's the ring? That's a big question as well. Where's the ring? So all this. So I just think it was well written, well directed. I did say something last night that some people are a little upset about because I said that I don't know how much of a victory lap James Gunn can take on the show, because yes, he was part of the initial pitch with Tom King crafting the story where they were going. But if you've watched Watchmen, the first season of Watchmen that Damon Lindelof show ran, there is not much difference here between Watchmen and Lanterns. The tone is almost the same. The social commentary is there. The washed out colors are there. And the more grounded, layered, nuanced performances are there. And the writing is tight and is working on multiple levels. There's hidden meanings and all the stuff that is going on. And they are unafraid to make the commentary that they're making about this fear of aliens and this fear of people not born on Earth versus people born on Earth. And do they know that Superman is an alien? I wonder how that's going to play itself out. And of course, we know Aaron Pierre is going to be in Man of Tomorrow, but I think the tone here is it's much more similar to the Batman than it is anything from Superman, Man of Tomorrow, or Supergirl. So I'm going to be curious to see how this all plays itself out. And there were Easter eggs and there were references, and William Macon is not a character in the comics, but it could be referencing another character, which I discussed in my review last night. So yeah, I thought overall it was damn good first episode. Some of you may disagree, but I thought it was a really good beginning to this show. PLD, did you like it or did you not see it last night?
I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. I thought it gave us exactly what it promised us, in the trailers and everything else, True Detective vibe and realistic. I had initially had my own misgivings because I do want a more space cosmic Green Lantern show. But with that being said, the trailer didn't get me, but the episode did. It drew me in. You're right. Kyle Chandler is awesome. Aaron Pierre. Born to play this role, I think, and play any so far, honestly. I think it's got a lot of good potential to see where it's going. I also don't buy that it's over for Hal either at the end. I think this is a comic book world, folks. This is like a sci-fi fantasy comedy world. This is not, death is never the end. So I think there's some time involved, some simulations involved, something. I think we're going to get more than just, you don't show that at the end of the first episode like that and have that stick with that kind of character and everything else. So I feel like there's something going to be on it. So
and the creators haven't come out and said, yes, definitively he is this. So we thought it's and even Kyle Chandler has said in that post mini doc they did for the episode, I loved the script and I love where they're taking this character and I love the gutsy decisions they're making. So if Kyle Chandler's on board, who are you to not at least give it a shot to see where it's going. So,
that quote doesn't sound like it's a one episode thing. So
exactly. And we saw the trailer. He's clearly all through the season. So, he's going to be a part of this thing. So, all right. There we go. All right. That's enough of that discussion because I don't want to get too deep into it because I don't want to, ruin anything for anybody who was watching with us. Thank you to the 600 of you who are joining me live here as I ride solo. As I said, please send in your super chats as we go along, because I really hope to go toe to toe with the big dogs later on in the week. Of course, I'll be back on Wednesday with Mr. Cook. Mr. Cook and I will be working together on Wednesday. Maybe he should host the show on Wednesday, and I can ride shotgun. We'll see. But we'd be remiss to leave the show today without, or leave this section of the show without talking about the sad passing of Hayden Panettiere, who died at 36 years old. The actress reportedly passed away there, according to an ABC News report via THR. Her representative has issued a statement to the outlet saying it is with profound sadness that we share the tragic passing of Hayden Panettiere here. She was an incredible light and a force of nature who brought immeasurable love and joy to all who knew her and to the millions who watched her on screen. Details about the cause of death are unknown at the time. That's not 100% true. TMZ has now issued some stuff, which I'll get to in a second. Born in Palisades, New York in August 1989, she first appeared on screen in One Life to Live and Guiding Light, the soap operas. By age 9, she had scored roles in films like A Bug's Life, The Object of My Affection. Oh, that's right. And over the next few years, racked up parts in films like Dinosaur, Message in a Bottle, Remember the Titans. That was the first time I ever saw Hayden. The Affair of the Necklace, Joe Somebody, Ice Princess, which is really sad, right? Both her and Michelle Trachtenberg, the two leads of Ice Princess, have passed away. And then Bring It On, All or Nothing. She had recurring roles in Ally McBeal and Malcolm in the Middle. She really broke through in 2006 at age 16, 17, being cast as the cheerleader Claire Bennett in the NBC series Heroes, and served in that role across all 4 seasons that returned for the Reborn revival. She was also in I Love You, Beth Cooper. Right. She was the lead role in that. Hoodwinked 2, Hood versus Evil, played Amanda Knox in television movie, and then had big success as Juliet Barnes in Nashville with Connie Britton in that show as well. By the way, an old friend of mine from high school, she was Connie Britton's stand-in throughout the entire series of Nashville. Real quick story. We were at my high school reunion, 20-year high school reunion. She had seen I'd been in LA working as an actor and doing my thing, and she was in North Carolina. She kind of had she was my high school crush, and she was always beautiful. And she was like, I'm thinking about maybe exploring this. And I was like, absolutely. Whatever you need, go for it. Here's what you need to do for your headshots. Here's what you need to do for a reel. Get in touch with an acting coach or acting people down in North Carolina. And like a year or two later, she booked being the body double, stand-in rather, for Connie Britton. And so I was very happy for her and excited. So if I had any role in getting her into Nashville, that's something I can take some pride in. Because she was really good at what she did. She was also a fan favorite on Scream 4. Hayden Panettiere was Kirby Reed. And she also lends her voice to the role of Carrie in the Kingdom Hearts game franchise, which of course was announced as a series at D23 now coming. And that Coco is going to be in the Kingdom Hearts franchise as well. She released a candid memoir earlier this year detailing her growing up as a child star, battles with addiction, postpartum depression, and more. She is survived by her daughter Kaya, who that's Vladimir Kitschko and her, their child, and her younger brother, actor Jason Panettiere, died in 2023 of aortic valve complications. Really sad situation overall. And TMZ is reporting that apparently that cardiac arrest was involved and that the words, quote, overdose were used. So that's a shame. And she had apparently been communicating or hanging out with her ex-boyfriend who had been accused of numerous incidences of domestic violence. So it's just a sad story overall for such an incredible talent. And going through the gears of Hollywood, how creepy men are in Hollywood with young girls and all of that. And if you read her details in her memoirs, there's some really harrowing incidences that she was a part of and experienced and whatever. And then seeing her battling with drug addiction and all of that. So it's just a shame. We can attack talent. We can look at talent, criticize talent, but we don't know what people are going through when they're not on camera. We don't know what people are going through when they're not on the mic. And we should, be aware of that, create more grace. And it seemed like she was turning her life around. It seemed like she was bouncing back. It seemed like there was a bright future for her. We've seen Lindsay Lohan bounce back. No, I don't think she's, become a better actress. I think she was much better when she was younger, but people are embracing her. We see Hilary Duff doing these sold out concerts all over the country. People are re-embracing her. I think there was a space to re-embrace Hayden Panettiere, but unfortunately, for whatever reasons, she has passed on at 36, and what the details are around all of that, I'm sure will come out. But, in these moments, think about all the great work she did. Think about all the great stuff she was able to accomplish. And maybe take a lesson here. And if someone is struggling, if someone is involved in a domestic violence situation, be there for them. Try to be there for them more. Try to encourage them to get out of it. Try to find your way to help them through any substance abuse situations or any situations where they're struggling with sexual assault or these kinds of things. So it's really important to be there for people. So maybe in some way you're giving back to the spirit of the loss of Hayden by doing something in your own life with people who in your world. So just a little bit of that. So, I think the path was open, especially after that memoir that was received so well. I think the path was open for Hayden to come back. I think we could have seen her as a series regular in a number of shows down the road, like CSI or Blue Bloods, these CBS shows. Hayden Panettiere would have been perfect to be a series regular on any of those shows. So it's just a shame that we lost such a really good acting talent. I mean, she was so good in all the shows and movies that she was in. She was just so good. So it's a shame, and we never know what people are struggling with. So just to create some grace for the people in your life as well. So, all right, let's move on to the questions here. We're at 10:15. Is there any more commercials, or are we good, PLD, to go to the questions? Okay, we're good. All right. Thank you, bud. Trent Holzman's here, says become a YouTube member. Thank you, Trent. Enjoy the stuff that's coming from Kristian's channel, the reactions and reviews here. Jason Crosby says the Lanterns ending is a cop-out. You don't do a scene like that in the first episode, and it sticks at the end. Well, Jason, I'm sure you've run a number of shows to know how to end the first episode of a series, so you know exactly what you're talking about. You've put so many of them out there, so you would know, Jason, of course, that you can't do a scene like that in the first episode. Or maybe you can, because it's gotten massively positive reviews and people are excited to see what's going to happen next. So maybe take a look at that, Jason. Tim Sims says, me, after seeing the Ahsoka Season 2 trailer, is probably the only Filoni backer in the circle. Sign me the F up. Been far too long to wait. Of course, Starfighter is the big one Star Wars needs a win on, while, as one told me, that Ahsoka is for the Filoni fans. Yeah, that's for sure. We'll see how many people show up to watch Ahsoka Season 2, if Disney even issues ratings for that, even if it even cracks the top 10 of the Nielsen ratings. We'll see. But I want it to be good. And I think if it is good, this will go a long way to quieting some of the skepticism around Filoni taking over as the creative voice of Star Wars. So we will see on that. And of course, Starfighter as well. Because, I mean, I'll tell you this, Maul Shadow Lord, which Filoni EP'd and was a part of intimately, was great. So if maybe that energy is back into Ahsoka Season 2 and then into Starfighter, we might be having a different interpretation of what happened with Ahsoka Season 1. Was Kathleen Kennedy a little more involved than we thought? Was it Kathleen Kennedy who was maybe messing with the Acolyte? That may be some reappreciation or reanalysis, shall we say, for lack of a better term, of Filoni's role in all of this.
Speaking of which, real quick,
yeah.
did you see the other talk about Hunt for Ben Solo that got rebrought back up? They asked Filoni the question a couple of times, and like he was very coy about it. Instead of showing any kind of flat denial, he kind of like did the whole like, "We're not making this film right now. The Force is not with us here. That is not here. Like it's not as in D23, but."
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know. Rumors are flying that Driver met with Soderbergh over the weekend.
Really? Is that why he was in? He was in Shepperton Studios?
Correct. That's the rumor I've heard. This is all wild rumor. Not my connections at all. Not anybody's connections. I'm just saying things I've seen over the pictures taken at restaurants, like the private eye.
Zapruder film. Yeah,
exactly. Who knows?
We'll see. But what's the smart way to get people talking? Make a little reference to it. Have Adam at Shepperton Studios. So, I'm not saying they flew him out for that, but like, you just never know. And to get people talking. So maybe it will come back. Maybe it will. Because certainly a lot of people want to see that. And maybe that's a way of getting people excited for this Rey trilogy that's supposedly coming here from Kinberg, and her appearing possibly at the end. Maybe her and Kylo appear at the end of Starfighter. That is very possible, isn't it? Some people, maybe that's why he's at Shepperton for some of those reshoots of Starfighter. Maybe he's appearing at the end with Rey as like her Force Ghost or whatever. Who knows? It's very possible with this kind of things. She says, save the cheerleader, save the world. Absolutely. R.I.P. Hayden. I saw someone post that we didn't save the cheerleader and we might have lost the world. And that's pretty sad to look at, for God's sakes. Tim says, also, I'm really excited about the first castings of the new X-Men at D23, especially India's Rogue, but it could be all for naught if Doomsday and Secret Wars don't pan out, which I'm still doubtful. Yeah, I am way less doubtful about that than I was before I saw the second Doomsday trailer. Now I'm like, yeah, I think they're going to nail it. I think they're going to nail it in ways that we don't even think were possible ahead of time. So we'll see, man. We'll see. All right, Mike Joyce says, Rocha, you say that you made $35K from your from your silly commercial. Mike, what have you ever done with your life? Was that received all at once or over several years? Got any more fun commercials? Yeah, I take silly as an insult, so I don't think it is a silly commercial. I think it's a fun commercial, which is what you ask. Got any more fun commercials? Was that received all at once or over several years? No, not over several years. It was received over that concentrated amount of time when it was shown. So you get that. I did get a payday ahead of time for that one for Del Real, but for the other one, it was over a 6-month period. And then I also was the voice of the Boost campaign for Minute Maid. So that would be the other, I guess, fun commercial that I did. I'm not on camera, but it's my voiceover going like, oops, someone needs a boost. So there were like 3 commercials like that, which PLD can certainly find on YouTube if he feels like it. I think they're still on there. So yeah, and I made good money on that for 1 day of voiceover recording. I think I made 60 grand off those commercials. Yeah, I think I made about that off those commercials, which was a lot of fun because it was a campaign. So yeah, there's good money in that stuff, you know? So people can say, oh, you failed as an actor. Yeah, sure. I didn't become Tom Hanks, but I sure as fuck made thousands of dollars being an actor. So, I mean, wake me up when people criticizing me do that with anything in their lives. Razor Old School says a Broadway star is absolutely perfect for Storm if they include her dramatic monologues. That's a great point. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, we may be unearthing, or they may have unearthed a really strong young talent to come in and play Storm very strongly, you know? And I think that's an issue where people go like, well, it was supposed to be Jamie Lawson. It was supposed to be Kaylee Spaney. It's like, come on, guys. Those were scoopers. And I said this over the weekend because I've seen people get mad at scoopers as well. And I think that's such wasted energy, you know? And I'm not trying to just defend Jeff. I think all of them, like Daniel RPK, My Time to Shine, hello. Justin Kroll, Boris Kitt, D'Alessandro over there. I mean, all these people that do this stuff, they have connections all over Hollywood. And so when they get the news or get the stories, they put it out there. It doesn't mean those things can't change, you know? And so you see the differences in all of that. But like to get upset that they put stuff out, I think is ridiculous. And I also think it's ridiculous to get upset that if the stuff they put out doesn't come true. Like it's always in the end, a lot of moving parts of who's going to book what role. Money could get involved. Somebody could get pregnant. Somebody could have an accident like what happened with Doug Ray Scott on the set of MI2. Like there's all kinds of things that could happen behind the scenes. Maybe they read the new script and they don't like it. They don't want to be a part of it anymore. Maybe they've gone on a spiritual journey and they don't want to be a part of this stuff anymore. So there's all kinds of things that can happen. So to be mad at scoopers for putting stuff out there that they're hearing, and a lot of times they're right. You notice that a lot of people don't come back after the scoopers and say, shit, you were right. I was wrong to criticize you. That rarely happens, right? The same people who will jump on a scooper when they're wrong and ridicule them are the same people who will shut the F up when the scooper is right? Jeff got Jean Grey right. And if Jeff gets Victor Zsasz right, like 9/10 of the internet community is going to owe Jeff Snyder an apology. But will they deliver it? No, they won't. No, they won't. So they'll look for the next time he's wrong or that something he said didn't pan out. And I think that's the thing. So why are we wasting angry energy on either situation? It doesn't make sense to me. So Jason Crosby, I'm old enough to remember the backlash to Keaton as Batman, as am I. These people need to just shut up and wait for the movie to come out. The same person who said that also said to us that the Lantern's ending is a cop-out and you don't do a scene like that in the first episode and it sticks at the end. So you want people to wait for the show to come out, for the movie to come out before they judge, but you don't want to wait for the show to finish up before you judge it? Like what? Jason, look at the... Jason! All right, Game Cram Cracker. Can you recommend the movie Anger Management with Nicholson to Kalinowski? My man needs it. LOL, JK. Listen, Kalinowski burns hot, bro. And I respect that energy. He works out a lot, so he's got those endorphins running through him, and people clearly like him. So why would he change who he is if people like him? So, come on. I would never change Mike. I would never tell Mike to change anything. Sun Devil Roadrunner. Cast has me wondering if the budget for X-Men will be lower than most would assume. X-Men movies have not made the kind of money where you can not worry about the budget. Yeah, that's true, but I think all of that is the past. That's Fox X-Men, which was always a mixed bag after X-Men and X2. This is a new approach to X-Men. And I think if Marvel nails Doomsday, Secret Wars, they already nailed Spider-Man. And I think, Black Panther 3 might come out before. We'll see. Oh, yeah, there was another announcement. It's coming out in I think May. They said May. Then the goodwill will be there for them to spend the money on X-Men. And what was Thunderbolts? Like 200 million? I think it was something like that. 200 million Thunderbolts or 170 million, something like that. You should at least spend 200 on X-Men. There's no reason not to spend $200 million on X-Men to see if you can get all the effects right. But it all depends on the story they're telling. Are they going to go much more ground-based like you see with Lanterns, or are they going to explore the bigger universe of X-Men and the usage of their powers? Plus, I think Sadie Sink, being in a film that's crossed over $2 billion, gives them more cachet to spend money on the X-Men movie because she did such an excellent job and people are excited about her as Jean Grey coming out of that movie. So you've got your cachet to spend. It's a matter of having a good script and a good director behind the scenes. So we'll see what happens there. Sun Devil also said, let's not downplay it or move the goalpost on how big Halle Berry was at the time. Oh, sure. Let's take a look at Halle Berry at the time she became part of the ensemble of X-Men, right? The person who had been in BAPS. Are we going to be honest, or are we not going to be honest about Halle Berry? I mean, what's it, 2000? Let's see what she said. I might be wrong on this, so I'm ready to eat my words if I'm wrong on this. In 2000, let's see where Halle Berry. Look, Halle Berry is an Oscar-winning actress, so I'm not trying to, but like looking at, she had been in Introducing Dorothy Dandridge. She was damn good in that movie for sure. But she was in Why Do Fools Fall in Love, a small part in that film. She was part of Bulworth, which didn't make a lot of money. The BAPS was 97. Rich Man's Wife, nobody came to see that. Girl 6 was one of the failures of Spike Lee. Executive Decision. That's a Kurt Russell film, right, with Steven Seagal. She's in that. Losing Isaiah didn't make it. So that's what I'm saying. So leading up to the X-Men, it wasn't like she was on a heater, dog. So let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck and tell the truth about where Halle Berry's career was at that time. And from X-Men, she gets Swordfish, Monsters Ball, Die Another Day. So her career was not going that great before X-Men. So let's not move any goalposts. Let's look at the goalposts of where they exactly are on the field and tell the truth. Her run was not that great, okay? And so it was after X-Men that she started to go on a run. That's where you can say that Halle really became a force in Hollywood and got to the positions that she got to because people woke up. And then she, of course, did Catwoman, and then, it became a much more mixed bag as things went on, and has still been a mixed bag over the years. So I'm not saying she's not a talent. She's absolutely a talent. But at the time when she got X-Men, she was not like some big, massive star. Let's tell the truth. Tim Sim says, your thoughts on the upcoming Premier League season, which starts this weekend? For me, we are free of Pep Guardiola. Condolences and thoughts and prayers to Hayden Panettiere's friends and family. Absolutely. I'm excited for the Premier League season. Starts this Friday with Arsenal taking on Coventry City. Good luck, Coventry City, going to play Arsenal, but that's Frank Lampard, an old Chelsea player, taking on Arsenal. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to watch that match on Friday. But yeah, my Liverpool starts off with Newcastle. I think it is going to be the big boys still. I think it's going to be Arsenal winning the title probably. I think Manchester United is going to make a jump up. I think Chelsea's going to surprise people. I think Liverpool, if we can get a couple more wingers, another defender in, although Jeremy Jacquet looked good over the weekend in that friendly with Como, I think that's all going to be a really good team down the road with Iraola as the coach there. But I think Manchester City is going to drop. I think Enzo Maresca is not Pep Guardiola, and I think they're going to fall off a cliff. And that horrific loss to Arsenal in the Community Shield, if I was a Man City fan, I'd be fucking scared for the season that's coming for sure. PLT says Black Panther, December of 2028, Thunderbolts budget was 180 million. 100 million. There you go. 180 million. Okay. So yeah, I mean, at least 180 million on the X-Men movie makes sense. Ray Dominguez, happy Monday, everyone. Thank you, Ray. Good to see those cheeks of yours, bud. Corn Emperor, haven't been around in a few months. Yes, Corn, good to see you. I hope that you're all well and having fun. Comic-Con felt smaller because of the lack of outside stuff, but great. Yes, I think everything is smaller. It's even D23 felt a little bit smaller, even though the announcements were somewhat big. It just felt a little more quiet, shall we say. Ray says, I watched Lanterns. It was good. It was stylish and cool. I'm starting to think the internet likes to criticize too much, or I am on the internet too much. Oh, brother. I mean, the internet wouldn't exist if we couldn't criticize everything. I said this on my live reaction last night. I woke up yesterday morning seeing the conversations about the X-Men, and I just was like, I don't know what we're doing anymore. Like every arena is just chock full of people spewing out toxicity, spewing out stuff, and they have no self-awareness. You know, they're not doing anything with their lives, but they feel they can comment and go after and criticize brutally some of these actors, actresses, executives, writers, creators, directors. Like, it just, to me, is mind-blowing, that disconnect that has happened here. It's like, go accomplish something, and then you can talk about other people trying to accomplish something because you've got a track record of accomplishing something. It doesn't mean you can't have an opinion, but to bring out the fork and knife and have this gleeful, toxic approach to things, I think that's where it becomes mind-blowing to me that we can't have anything because people are always gonna crap on it, Ray. So I hear you, man. And yes, you probably are on the internet too much, as am I. I'm on the internet too much. AJ Bristol says 250 joules clapping seal. Thank you, AJ Bristol. Very kind of you. Ray also asks, "Did y'all catch Ninth Jedi? I thought it was pretty good." Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, bro. I know I'm supposed to watch it. I was going to watch it today, but now my day is filling up. I got to record Cinephiles at 12. We might have a live Geek Buddies today at 2:00. Live Geek Buddies, possibly waiting to hear from Michael Vogel if he's down. If not, we're going to record our episode and it'll be out later today. But that might be my whole afternoon. I was going to sit and watch Ninth Jedi, and now it's full. Yes, Paul.
Well, find time to make it. Find time to watch it at some point. It is great. It is fun. There's a little bit of repetitive beats overall, but it's kind of like it's a little bit of a what if story anyway, since Visions are always canon. So there's some recognizable beats from Star Wars, but it is like a great combination of like high fantasy in Star Wars. There's these parts of it I felt Lord of the Ring-ish almost in a way.
Oh wow!
But it's really, really cool. Really good. Animation is really beautiful, and the story is really cool. So I really, really recommend it.
Are they half-hour episodes?
Yeah, we're around like 22 minutes.
And what, 9 or 8? How many?
8 of them.
8 of them. Oh, so you can blaze through that in 4 hours. Okay. All right, PLD. I might give it a shot here tonight. I don't have a screening tonight, so I may do that. Alex Meyer says, Marvel hasn't made many casting mistakes. That's true, if any. We should just trust that these are the best actors for the roles. Yeah, I think, the one big one is, I don't think it was a mistake, to be honest with you, but certainly people have never let go of their hatred of Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, which is a shame because I think Brie's a damn good actress. And, I was watching Jump Street the other way, 21 Jump Street, and I hadn't seen it in a long time. She's almost unrecognizable in that movie, that Brie is in that movie. It was crazy. And to see where she's gone and blown up as an actress, But yeah, I think maybe that's the one misstep, one of the most glaring missteps, but not because she's not good, but because for whatever reason, the fans didn't gravitate to it. But yeah, I agree. They rarely make any casting mistakes in their approach to their stuff. Ronnie, what's up, Ronnie? Hi, Rocha stepping in to provide some support for your individual potting today. Thank you, Ronnie. PLD, thank you so much for putting up all the funny-ass commercials and past acting jobs from the crew. I have been hollering. Love it. Listen, PLD didn't put them all up, okay? I put the Del Real ones. I sent that one in. But the other ones, PLD has put them up. So shout out to PLD for doing that for sure. Thank God I don't have any more embarrassing ones. Although the Winston one, dude, I showed that one over the weekend to Lady L. We were having a good time with that. And I love it. I love it. I love Winston's great. We'll be on Spill the Tequila tomorrow night for sure. Alan Smithy, yo Rocha, love lanterns. Great barbecue, and those tofu steaks sounded pretty tasty too. Hey BLD, hope you survived today's show without losing it. There you go. He's doing all right so far. I couldn't help but I don't know what you thought, PLD, but I couldn't help thinking like that he was making like commentary about his manhood because he's vegan. He goes, "Oh, did I make those tofu steaks just right for you?" But then he dropped that hammer when he's like, "It's nothing like eating off another man's grill." Woo! Eating off another man's grill. Woo! Have you guys seen that TikTok video, the TikTok thing that's going around? I don't know if you've seen it, but like other people maybe have seen it. There are people doing reactions to Ric Flair running the taking your order at a drive-thru. I can't see enough of those reactions. It is hilarious. Hilarious. If you haven't watched it, Ric Flair taking your order at a drive-thru, and then someone did the Dusty Rhodes taking your order at a drive-thru. Hilarious. And they're all like reacting to how he's reacting to what you're ordering. Very, very funny stuff. Ronnie, where's Ronnie here? Is back again. Ronnie says, storm casting has me sold. Yes, a Broadway actress brings the kind of depth and range that the role truly deserves. Let's go, Aurora Monroe. I agree. There's a lot of really great actors on Broadway who are able to do roles on camera. I mean, you'd be surprised about so many actors who've come from Broadway and established themselves in the theater world. And usually when you go through the theater route, it's because you're really good. Theater is not easy. Most theater is not like, Jean-Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal not doing theater, ladies and gentlemen. So it's like, there's a certain level of talent you have to be able to get on Broadway. There's not a lot. There's maybe, I don't even know if there are any Broadway actors that I would ever say are not good actors. Like, it's just not something that happens. Tim Sim says, honestly, still Dune Part 3 IMAX for the first weekend for me, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Doomsday on the second weekend, depending on the reviews. Yeah, there you go. That's right. A lot of people going to see it over and over again, like they did with the Odyssey. Don't be surprised if Dune makes $1.5 billion. Don't be surprised. 28 Vasco says, the Travis Barker, Doc, and Hayden's passing are humble reminders that regardless of our statuses, we're all human and all have to deal with challenges, loss, and trauma, strength, and kindness towards everyone. Hey, man, I saw that over the weekend, the thumbnail for the Travis Barker doc. Are you saying it's good? If you're saying it's good, I'll watch it. I like documentaries, especially that are essentially biopics. I'm a fan of that stuff. So, and I don't, I'm not a big fan. Like I don't own a lot of Travis Barker music. I don't even know if I have any, but I've known his name in the drama of things over the last few years as an artist, but also, behind the scenes stuff and stuff with his relationship. So I know about and his struggles. So might be interested to see that one. So we'll see. Ronnie back again. Thank you, Ronnie. Well, I got to get back to work. We'll watch the whole show later. Well, thank you, Ronnie. When you're watching the whole show later, congrats to Mike, aka Mr. Cook, for winning last week. See you later, Rocha. Peace. Yes, take care. Thank you so much, Ronnie. Love you. The Beat Outpost. What are they going? I love this, dude. That is an awesome avatar, bro. I don't know if I've ever seen you before on a Monday. That is a great look at that. I wish I had an avatar that was cool. That cool. What are they going to do? It's Miles Morales, I think. What are they going to do with Jeremy Renner? Hawkeye has been quiet and in retirement limbo. If they decide to make a West Coast Dark Avengers movie, think he will be the only OG Avenger to return? Or do we stick with Yelena and Cap? No, I think there's still a path for Renner back as Hawkeye. I think it depends on how VisionQuest goes. I think they do want to keep being in this in the Yahya Abdul-Mateen 2 business as Wonder Man. So I think a West Coast Avengers is absolutely possible. I mean, it all depends on how Doomsday and Secret Wars ends up, right? Will we even have an Avengers team by the end of Secret Wars? Will it be an amalgamation of what the Avengers and then the new Avengers? Will it be an amalgamation? Will we get the young Avengers? Like, there's all kinds of questions. So I think West Coast Avengers is what they're slowly building towards. And we'll see. And look, I think Captain Britain was in West Coast Avengers. Would they find a way to have Haley Atwell come back as a version of Captain Britain to be part of it? I don't know. A lot of people think she's going to die, that Doom's going to kill her. And that may be true, but maybe not. Maybe she's the superhero, and that could be interesting. And she ends up in West Coast. We'll see. Coheed says 100 joules. High five. Thank you, Coheed. Much love to you, bro. Ray Dominguez, I finally had some free time this weekend and saw Spider-Man and Odyssey. I liked him. I can't wait to drag my family to go see one of them when I visit home later this month. Yeah, there's quite a few people who are still seeing these things for the first time. I had a member last night on my Patreon who hadn't seen Spider-Man yet. I was super surprised. But he's had a lot of stuff going on, so he hasn't been able to get out to the theater. So, yeah, there are still regular folks who are waiting for the hype to die down to go see the movie because they don't want to be maybe in like massively full theaters and want to kind of enjoy it as it is. So, yeah, a shout out to you, Ray. Glad you liked it. Hope your family likes it. Johnny Patrizia, who will be added to the X-Men for their first film? I don't think we're getting – I just don't sense that we're getting more characters. Maybe one or two, but I don't imagine we're going to get. I just don't think we're going to get Angel or Iceman. I don't think we're getting Wolverine unless X-23 gets added to the cast. And that may be what Kevin is alluding to when he says this is not the full cast. Maybe X-23 is coming in, So I don't know that we're going to get any more bigger names added to the cast of X-Men because it's pretty full. And isn't that the complaints that people have all the time? Too many characters. Look what's what happened to Eternals. Too many effing characters killed that movie. And not giving you enough background on those characters killed that movie. I know some people like Eternals. I think it's a terrible movie, and for so many reasons. But all those characters, not getting enough time with them to sink our teeth into their backstories and all that kind of stuff, I think kills the movie. So you don't want to have too many characters in a movie where you're launching a new franchise. I think that could be dangerous. Ray says Digger is clearly going to bomb, but I still want to see it. I don't know if it's clear it's going to bomb. I really don't know what's going to happen with Digger. It's Tom Cruise, and yes, those last 2 Mission Impossible films didn't do well, but Inarritu has a good name with a lot of people. They enjoy his movies. Yeah, Bardo, I think, was the last one he did. I know people didn't like Bardo. I loved Bardo. As a Latino, there was a lot of Latino-coded stuff in that movie that I connected to and cared about, and a lot of conversations about the culture, about, not being Latino enough or going over to work in America and losing some of your Latino-ness and all of that. So I think there was a lot of things that I've confronted myself personally, but also have seen in my community. So I thought that was cool to see in that film. And I thought the visuals and the fever dreams that you would see in that movie were fantastic. But, I know it wasn't a hit. So will that affect how people respond to this movie? We'll see, bro. Jalen Turner, have you seen the marketing for the movie Buddy? It's horror film with Kristen Milioti and Topher Grace and Keegan-Michael Key. It's like Evil Barney, has me very intrigued. I have, yes. I've been sent numerous emails by the publicists for Buddy. They had, I think, an installation or a performance at Comic-Con. So there's been stuff over the years that I've seen, over the last few weeks that I've seen with Buddy. It looks interesting. And I think the way they're rolling it out is really smart. It reminds me of how they rolled out Nope. Just kind of little subtle hints of what's going on here. This could be a lot of fun. It's kind of fun that Keegan-Michael Key is getting into horror, considering, Jordan Peele has kind of already established himself there. So nice to see him be a part of that. So we'll see. But it looks good, man. Yeah, I'm on board 100%. And Kristen Milioti, who some of you may not remember, speaking of Broadway actresses, Kristen Milioti was the lead of Once, the Broadway version of that movie from 2007 that starred, of course, someone who just recently passed as well, Glenn Hansard. So, as I said, coming from Broadway, it's not negative. It's not a negative. So, the Beat Outpost says, Brand New Day got a Men in Black meme scene, but cut Rosario Dawson's hospital moment. Do you think it ends up leaving a bit of a plot hole? Well, Rosario said her scene was with Spider-Man, so I don't know what that scene was. I think people have been speculating that she was supposedly who helped Frank get in there, but we don't know. That's not being confirmed officially anywhere that was the scene. That's just what people speculated could have been the scene, but no one has confirmed that was the cut scene from the Marvel side of things. Or Sony side of things either. So I don't know what that hospital scene was. So I can't say it's a plot hole if we don't know what the scene was, right? So it'll have to come out. Maybe it'll be a deleted scene they add to the release of the movie, and then we can have a better idea of what that scene was in the movie. Johnny Patrizia, any of the animation announcements stand out to you? Well, I mean, Coco 2 really stood out to me, and I like that Benjamin Bratt introduced it and that he wants revenge in the afterlife. And listen, that shot of him hugging his mom in the afterlife, or his grandmother, his Nana in the skeleton, fucking lost it. Just absolutely lost it. Seeing that picture. I think Incredibles 3 looks good. I think that looks effing great. I love the idea that the kids are now coming to the forefront, just as kids do, just as teenagers do. We want to prove we can be equal members of the team. That happens in every family. So, and then Bob, that shot of Bob with essentially the world on his shoulders. This has been one of the things that I've loved about Incredibles in all two movies, rather. And it seems like it's going to be in the third movie as well. There's more seriousness to what Bob goes through in these movies than people really connect or really grasp, right? I mean, that first movie, he grabs Miss Incredible and says, I can't lose you. I can't go through that again. To me, I take that as I won't be able to live my life without, I'm going to kill myself if I lose you, right? It's coded. It's coded in that way. And in the second film, what he has to do to overcome certain things so that he can be the dad and get his kids going, so that his wife can be the breadwinner and his wife can have her day in the sun. Like those are little things that like make him such a well-rounded, interesting character, and they're not afraid to go there with him. And so that image of him looking really downtrodden and holding up the world, like that shows you that Bob's going to have to endure a lot of stuff in this movie again as well, which I enjoy because I think Craig T. Nelson does an incredible job voicing over Bob in those movies. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in 3.
So wait, I'm going to interrupt real quick. Our fearless leader, who has been in the chat watching us every once in a while.
What? Stay on the plane. Go rest.
He sent an image from the plane and wants to share with the rest of the crew. Here
Oh, God. Here we go. Here we go.
He hopes that the Schmoedown card will hit this guy's foot. And I happen to agree with him. Look at that. How do you
look? That is ridiculous, man. It's almost as bad as taking your shoes and your socks off on a plane barefoot. Like people, I think COVID broke the world, bro. I think people have become nuts. Like people are so used to living in their living rooms. They think, well, I can just act this way everywhere I go. You know, I've seen people go to the Panera in their fucking pajamas. I've seen people go to a movie theater wearing with blankets, like bringing their blankets. Like, what are we doing?
If we get 100 super chats, Kristian will give him a good elbow. That's what we'll say. How about that?
We're at 57 now. I don't know if we'll get there in the next 14 minutes, but maybe. Why not? Why not? Thal Yankee says, happy Solo Monday, Rocha. Thank you, man. Happy Solo Monday to you. But looking forward to the Geek Buddies reviewing D23 and Lanterns. Managed to snag a standard show of Doomsday after seeing the D23 trailer due to sites crashing a few weeks back. Congratulations that you got tickets. That's good. That's good. That's something I haven't had to worry about in years. So I'm always worried about people getting tickets to see these movies and hope that they get in there because, you know, the fans are such a massive part of why these movies succeed and why people love these movies. So I'm glad you got a ticket, bro. And yeah, I don't know if we're going to go live or not. I'll have to make an announcement at some point hopefully by 12, I'll hear back from Michael on this situation. Or if we do a pre-tape, it'll be out later on this afternoon on my channel, which I haven't even promoted yet. My channel, youtube.com/John Rocha says, please head on over there. Thank you to everybody who's watched my Doomsday reaction. That was a big number over the weekend. I had some people watching me last night, almost 300 people watching my live reaction and review of the Lanterns episode, which I appreciate, which I'll be doing every Sunday night right after the show's over. I'll be popping on and just talking about it. After I take like a half an hour to look up Easter eggs and things of that nature, I'll be hopping on there. And then my live reaction watch along of the D23 panel had some really nice views as well. So thanks to everybody who's been watching the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please head on over there. Really trying to get to 50,000 subscribers so I can start bringing in like creatives to be a part of it. That seems to be the magic number on YouTube, that you can go to publicists and go, I have 50,000 subscribers. I can bring your talent onto my channel. Let me interview them and what have you. So would love for you all to subscribe to the channel. And I give you good stuff. Hot mic, Geek Buddies every week, Spill the Tequila every week, my reactions and reviews, and my new shows coming up here, The Verdict and the Truth. So please, or The Verdict and the Rocha show. So please head on over there. Would appreciate y'all. Kristian Harloff, he says, if we hit the goal in day one and we are able to do a 16-person tournament, who would be in it? Heavy hitters and what underdogs? Good question. Is that the Kristian Harloff? Is that the actual Kristian Harloff? Oh, okay. I think Ed had an answer to this, but it is way back in the chat. I wish we could find Ed's suggestion of who he thinks should be a part of this thing, because he suggested quite a lot of people.
Ed, put it in the chat again. Put it in the chat.
Yeah, Ed, copy and paste your thing here. I would like to see where you put, because he had a great list of the people that would be a part of. Wait, let's go. When did I announce it? Let's go to 10:30 something, because he put it at 10:40. When was it? 10:30 something. Ed put it in the chat. Where is it? Let me know if he puts it in the chat again, bro, while I'm looking, because I want to make sure.
Will. I'll throw some names out there that I'd want to see. Obviously, I'd want to see Mike. Has got to be in it. Let's see. I mean, it depends on what we're doing. Geekdom. Kev, I would like to see, but Kev, I don't want to do in a main show.
Yeah.
But Sam, obviously, and some underdogs. I would love to say there's some people from that last era that never got a real good chance before they were canceled. Like I always pitch it. Travis Fishburne, who was like the SDL champion and made his debut in the free for all, like the first final free for all we did. He should have. It was almost the MVP if Dan wasn't. I would love to say him get a shot against some of the heavy hitters. That would have been some fun match for sure.
That could be interesting. Yeah. I mean, would you bring back? You'd have to bring. I mean, you'd have to bring back. Marisol, right? You'd have to bring back Adam, right? Is that right?
Yeah, Adam was there. I mean, we did have Marisol versus Bateman was like, supposed to happen as a part for the championship at one point. That was or the contender match, right? And that got scrapped because we got canceled or whatever. So that would be interesting. What if that had taken place, kind of thing as well?
Right. Yeah, I can't. Oh, where is that thing? I'm going back in time to 940.
A couple other ones in there. Prince Plaza saying Andrew Guy, Lomas Guy rematch, and another update on whether Guy married the
Lomas. Brother Lomas, absolutely, man. Bring back the entire Finstock exchange. That's my personal decision. But like,
there we go.
I mean, like Finstock could come back. That could be interesting to see him back in this. Emma, would you bring Emma? Would she want to come back? I don't know if Emma Fife would want to come back. Has she had her baby yet? I don't know if she's even had her baby.
Yes,
yet,
I believe she.
Okay.
So
she's a new mom.
Sure she has. Ed says you, Merle, Riley, Sam, Rachel, Marisol, Adam, JTE, Clark, Makuga, Ben or Guy, Snyder, Jen, and Emma post interview. All those are pretty good.
Merle, Riley, Sam. Sam's with 2 M's. Haskell, Rachel, Marisol, and Adam. Absolutely. JT, Clark, Makuga, Ben or Guy. I think Ben, I don't know if Guy would do it. I think Ben would do it. But I don't even know if Ben would do it. I mean, Ben's been off doing the card thing, right?
For a while now, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Guy actually really liked the desk, too, at the end. He really liked being on the desk with Ellis. I think that's the best interview or best announcing duo we had.
We can't take your opinions serious. You're too biased with action. Like this is like me listening to one of Trump's people talk about how great Trump is.
I only speak the truth. I only speak the truth.
You speak your truth. You don't speak the truth.
I speak the truth, motherfucker.
Speaking of the truth, head on over to the John Rocha channel. The truth is there. But no, yeah, I think there's some interesting names out there. Who else were? I mean, like you'd have to bring Kevin in, right? And Kalinowski, you'd have to bring.
Yeah, Kalinowski and Kevin. I mean, there's the IG people. Like that's hard to have them do the main thing, but I'd love to see maybe like another Intergeek in a match. Would be kind of.
What about Star Wars guy? Right?
Yeah, Alex Damon.
Yeah,
Sam, Molly Damon. We could have the other Star Wars guys. We have who are the Dimalantas? The Dimalantas are both great.
Oh, Dimalanta, right.
They're the champs at the end. They were the last champion standing at the end of Star Wars. So they were good too, for sure.
I mean, Bibbs. Ed hasn't even mentioned Bibbs. You got to bring Bibbs in. You cannot do it without Bibbs.
Just got to bring Shazam back. Bring one back the other one.
Yeah. Well, so. Oyama, and Ethan, of course. Ethan, you have to have Ethan.
Absolutely. I mean, there's also some fan favorites. Janine the Machine Gun is always fun.
Oh yeah, right.
Brienne Chandler, there's an old name for you to throw out there. The
Miss Movies.
Yeah, she used to do those entrances which were phenomenal, and she used to get all dressed up and stuff with it. Just like that was great. I loved her.
Ellison. Which one's Ellison?
Chance.
Oh, Chance. Right. I only know Chance's Chance. Yeah, Chance. Oh, I mean, you have to bring Chance back. Right.
Absolutely.
Well, maybe you should do two Kickstarters, one for tag teams and one for because I mean tag teams would be insane.
There's a lot of tag teams I'd like to see. I still would love to have seen Action versus Patriots. Love to see Shazam versus Patriots. Take you guys on versus Sam. I mean, you guys there's a lot we could do.
The Founding Fathers versus the Patriots. That's what I would want to see. Jesus Christ. Merle and me versus JT and Snyder. Forget it, man. It would be insane. Oh yeah, Video Drew. Yeah, Video Drew. Absolutely. Drew. Yeah. Okay. All right. She put them on the floor. What does that mean? She put them on the floor. What does that mean? Oh, Maud. Yeah, Maud would be fun. I don't know if she would do it either. Yeah, Bibbs. Yeah, Sam Witwer. I don't know if Sam would do it. I mean, he's so big now, Sam. Got to be OGs. Need more women. Well, I mean, yes, of course. So yeah, we'd have to balance that out.
Glory Jean was another one of those latecomers. She was there the final season. She had a good, really small run in the beginning that she could have maybe made a run if she had more time. Another good one.
Yeah. Rocha versus Smets parts 3 or I mean versus Mance part 3 and 4. No. I don't know. I mean, I guess Mance would do it, which would be a lot of fun. So we'd see on that. Rocha no, there's no flashbacks, baby. I won 4 fucking titles. There's no flashbacks at Bestman. I appreciate Bestman. Like anything in life. Right? Like I had a terrible girlfriend before my current girlfriend. It was horrible. It didn't work out, left me scarred, right? But if she hadn't been so terrible, I wouldn't be with the amazing woman I am now. So with the woman I am with now. So like Bespin is nothing but appreciation. Me losing that match is what sparked me to go win the titles. I don't know if you have the outlaw without the Bespin loss. And like any great story, you have to have failure, and you have to, rise from the failure to achieve titles. And I think a lot of people got on board with my mission to try to win the belt and to beat Dan, which to go from losing of Bespin to beating Dan. I don't think any other story in the Schmoedown has ever come. And I'm not trying to say that because I'm just saying objectively, I don't think any other story in the Schmoedown matches what I was able to do.
So you can appreciate me taking the Mickey out of you then when I set up videos and stuff like that for you for Bespin.
Oh, I don't mind that because it's all from
Tatooine. Tatooine. Tatooine.
I'm an old man. I'm confused.
Yeah, but that's trolling, and that's what you do best because people on the sidelines who can't do troll. So it's actually the truth.
I got a Schmoedown award also. For
what's that? What Schmoedown award did you
for
win?
Media Call to Action got the podcast of the year. Hey,
podcast of the year. Get out of here, podcast of the year. No, listen, I don't, you put all that up, but what happened after that match? The old man went and won 4 titles and he TKO'd your boys up back to back. So, talk all your bullshit. But if the old man beat the young boys, what's that say about the young boys? And what's that say about the old man? So play all the videos you want, do all the editing you want. It don't mean a fucking thing. It don't mean a damn thing. Because, but the thing is, that's why you're unfair. Because that's why you're a troll. You only post the negative, right? Why aren't you posting videos of me beating all your heroes, beating all those people to win titles? Yeah, because you're not a balanced person. You're not a balanced person.
I never said I was.
You're the Fox News of this damn place.
Team action the whole time, baby. You knew that.
Yeah. If only you could get some action. All right, anyway, let's get to the comments. Let's keep going with the comments here. Where are we at? Oh my God, we got so much more to go. We're almost at 11. Damn it, PLD. All right, where is it? Reggie Brown says, neighbors aren't hearing John Sr. pop his gun off at his kids. My only complaint, but so far I'm hooked. Bro, listen, let me tell you something. That's Marine housing. And as someone who grew up with friends whose dads were in the Marines, as someone who was in the military for 8 years, no, they wouldn't have an issue with it because it's leave people alone back then. Back in 96, people weren't getting involved in other people's parenting of their kids. No, hell no. Reggie, you shouldn't have an issue with that. That's not true at all. No, Yankee says most definitely R.I.P. Hayden. Absolutely. Coleman says 350 Jules finger heart. Okay. Aoshi says Jules flowers. And Mike Joy said, I thought you said it was silly. My bad. No, it was a fun commercial. I never said it was silly. That's a very silly commercial. Don't be insecure. Says the guy who keeps trying to bait me. I'm the insecure one. You got smoked. You're never coming back, battery, from me banging your dad mercilessly. Alexander Wilson says the Ahsoka trailer looked good, but when the characters start to talk and the plot starts going, it's going to be contrived and nonsensical. That's Filoni. I don't know because, as I said, Maul Shadow Lord was really well written, really well done, and those characters had legitimate storylines and motivations, and he was intimately involved in the creation of that show. And I know that's animation, not live action, and so we'll see though with Ahsoka season 2. I hope it isn't that, but you might end up being right, Alexander. We'll see. Mark says, Mark J. Sonoli says, Rocha, what can you tell us about voicing Springload and Transformers Robots in Disguise? How was that experience? It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I did, I think, 3 episodes as the voice of Springload in Transformers Robots in Disguise. Also got paid. Again, for the people who say, you failed as an actor. I made thousands of dollars. I booked a lot of roles and had fun with it. In the end, I just wasn't in love with being an actor in Hollywood. And I just didn't have that extra motivation that you need to have to keep going. That's what ended up happening for me. So you can say I failed, but it's just my life. What can you go? Here's what I'm saying. It's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And I got to work with the whole cast in a couple of the reads. Like Constance Zimmer and I went back. It was so great to be in the room with her. My boy Yuri Lowenthal, who we co-hosted a podcast for, I think, a year, interviewing people in the voiceover world. Yuri I still get texts from Yuri when he goes to these conventions. I love Yuri to pieces. We're boys. And it was great to be on an episode with him. There were quite a few people who did the Transformers episode. I don't remember now. That was a lot of fun to do and stuff. And I also was a voiced over characters in other animated shows as well. So just a lot of fun. Springload was great because I got to really go full on with that character and have fun, let my freak flag fly with the voice that I was able to make for Springload. And I became a toy figure, which I still have in my closet. You can buy Springload Transformers, Robots in Disguise toys, and that is me. So I essentially became a toy out there for people to buy if they wanted to. So, talk all your shit. I had a good life. Alexander Wilson, Gilroy said he only received one note from Disney about Andor, which they didn't want Marva to say F the Empire. Where is the notion that Kennedy interfered with the project when Gilroy says otherwise? What? I didn't say Kennedy interfered with Andor, did I? I don't think Kennedy had anything to do with Andor. I would say that's the one place that Kennedy didn't do anything with Andor. It's all Tony Gilroy. I don't know what Alexander is talking about because I don't think I said anything like that. I was talking about the Acolyte and I was talking about Ahsoka. Yeah, go ahead.
I think he might have been just talking in general, not specifically that you said anything, maybe.
I don't know. It seems odd to come out of blue because we didn't even talk about Andor like that. So
could have been a general thing. I'm not sure though.
Where's Larsa Kennedy's interfered? Okay, all right, yeah. I don't know how people could say Kennedy interfered with Andor. I mean, it seems like she didn't have much to do with that. Luis Fonseca, other than approving it, of course. People are bitching about how Doomsday looks already. Here we go again. Lots of people online saying this movie's going to suck or still good. Yeah, exactly. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise because nothing said. They were also complaining about Spider-Man, the look of Spider-Man, and some of the CGI. Ignore the noise. The film is going to make billions of dollars. That is what is going to matter. And all these people are like, well, a movie doesn't, the money doesn't equal quality. It doesn't, but it does certainly tell you that people had fun watching the movie and went to see it over and over and over again to drown out your complaints. That drown out your complaints. So, it is what it is. Truth 31 the one says X-Men's theme, which tackles oppression while the cast is mostly white, is hilarious. Also, Marvel canceling black projects is not the best look. Well, yes, but I mean, there's a way to look at this. The cast has always been white in X-Men. The original OG X-Men were white. And there's a lot of people who say that Magneto and Professor X were based on Malcolm X and MLK. There's a lot of people who say that. So it was Stan Lee's way of commenting on the othering that was going on in society. So you see that. But as the X-Men went along, it became much more diverse. You had characters of different color, different backgrounds. If you look at X-Men 97, that entire cast is a very diverse cast. They had Beau DeMayo, a black gay man running the first season. So you see that happening. So I don't think it is hilarious to be able to explore that because othering happens all over the place. And maybe they think it's more palatable to have a predominantly white cast and they can make more money that way. It's as a business, everybody. We can all hang on to the social thing of the right things to do, but you got to be realistic. So having a Black Storm, having a Latino, a Latin rogue is a way of kind of balancing the scales. So, and seeing what we can do here with Sadie Sink, Kit Cooper, and Kit Connor rather, and what have you. So, we'll see where it ends up. But I think to just dismiss it this way is a disservice because we don't know what the commentary is. We don't know what they're going to explore. And it is a diverse cast. So, and Marvel canceling black projects is not the best look. Yeah, but I mean, they couldn't get Blade off the ground. That's a shame. There might have been, I think in the end they got cold feet because Mahershala wanted to do Blade in essentially a slavery time period piece, not in slavery times, but essentially like what it's like to be a black hero in the past and dealing with racism. So I think I think Disney was like, yeah, we're the political climate. That's not what we want to do now with the political climate. And I agree with you. They've shortchanged Captain America 4. That was a terrible mishmash of them removing the blackness from that movie to make it about Red Hulk, ironically another color. And then what they did with Falcon and Winter Soldier, unfortunately, because of the strike or COVID or whatever, they had to cut the episodes down. So yes, it's not a good look right now for what's going on. But you also have to be a little bit patient to see how Kevin Feige is going to map out this new mutant saga. And when you look at the characters that are involved in Doomsday and possibly in Secret Wars, it's a diverse cast, and so let's see where all of that plays out. So I think you have to give them space for the next 2 years to see what they create. Because Feige's not a racist. It was Ike Perlmutter who was the issue in the beginning with not having any characters. I mean, people forget, like, we had a lily white Marvel for quite some time. It wasn't until recently that we've had much more diversity. Unfortunately, the diversity has not been met with the talent that we had in those first couple of phases, so that the movies that came out, the projects that came out, had the same kind of overall good quality. And for that, they suffered, and people who have ulterior motives grabbed onto that. Say, see, people go woke, go broke. But the truth was, go bad, go broke. Make bad movies, make bad TV shows, you go broke. It's irrelevant of who the leads are, just as the Odyssey just showed us in terms of pushing back on the nonsense of the anti-woke and anti-DEI. Yikes. Daniel says, wait, your brick wall is a green screen? Yes, it is. I love the mystery presented in lanterns, and I honestly have no idea where the show is going to go. A+, almost all the footage shown has been from episode 1. Yeah, exactly, which is why that trailer was a really great window into what we have. I almost stopped halfway through the trailer because I was like, I don't want to know what's coming, but it is a window into what we got over the next few episodes, which will be very interesting by the time the show ends, I think. So, but yes, I think you can tell it's a green screen, right? Doll Yankee says, in my opinion, Wanda Agatha needs to be in Vision Quest. Mephisto answer to Doom in Secret Wars. Oh, God. Listen, I know some people are really liking Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto. I wouldn't mind if we never see him again as Mephisto, but I know some people like him. So, and I don't think he can hold a candle to what Robert Downey Jr. can do. Sinister created Maddie Pryor, Luke in Ahsoka season 2, and Jon Stewart, be more careful with who he opens his zipper for. Well, yes. Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, I got a thing for her, and I thought she was great in Deli Boys, so I had no problem with Jon Stewart getting it on in that truck. But that also shows how I said this in the review last night. That also shows how fearless Jon Stewart is, right? Fearless. He's gonna have sex with a woman he just met in a bar in a truck. That's how fearless Jon Stewart is. Now, maybe he used the ring and put a green condom on, but he's fearless. He's fearless. I don't know. Wanda Agatha and Vision Quest, I think that is going to happen. Mephisto, I don't want to see that. Sinister create right. We might get a Maddie Pryor down the road for sure. Luke and Ahsoka season 2. I don't think we need Luke if you have Hayden. I really don't. But we'll see. Fiona George says, R.I.P. Hayden Panettiere, such sad news. I agree. Thank you, Fiona. The All Yankee, off to work. Have a safe, great week. All yes, take care, all the All Yankee. I'm trying to get through a lot of these, everybody. We had 67 of these. Fiona George says, super excited for the X-Men cast. Yes, a lot of people are. Thank you, Fiona. And also, Fiona, also people saying Inde Navarrette is bad casting is nuts to me. I can definitely see her as Rogue. 100%. 100%. She's got the sexiness. She's got the presence, the energy, the charisma. She's going to be great as Rogue. A lot of people are going to be eating their words when that movie comes out. KJ7457 says, what are the chances of Brie Larson returning to the MCU so that Rogue can get her Ms. Marvel powers? Yeah, a lot of people put up memes like that over the weekend that sorry, Brie, or sorry, Captain Marvel, that she's going to take her powers. I don't see an Oscar-winning actress coming back to just be a vehicle for another person to get their powers. I just don't see Brie Larson agreeing to do that. So I don't know how they're going to do it, how they're going to give her Rogue her powers. I don't know how they're going to work all that. Does Ms. Marvel come into the equation? Are there other ways for her to get the powers? I don't know. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do it, but I just don't see Brie Larson coming back just to be siphoned rather. So yeah, we'll see. But I do think she will come back. I just don't think it'll be for that situation. Oh, and could it be Monica, right? Monica has very similar powers to Monica Rambeau to Captain Marvel. So if they're not going to continue with the Monica character, will that be how Rogue gets her powers? I don't know. Aoshi says, to all here, remember, you are not alone. You are cherished and loved. Yes, never think you are a burden. Be strong. Reach out for help. Love to all who struggle. Absolutely, Aoshi. Aoshi, very good words, brother, man. I totally agree. 28 Vasco, true IMAX theaters in SoCal are still sold out for the rest of the month. Yeah, a lot of the IMAX theaters in San Diego are sold out for Odyssey for the rest of the month into September. I have yet to see the Odyssey in IMAX 70 millimeter, which is driving me nuts, but I have to be patient till all the hype dies down, then I can go see it on my own there as well. Fiona says, Fiona George, also, what other things announced at D23 apart from Marvel are you excited for, John? I think I laid them out, what I was excited for in terms of what was announced. I'm pretty sure I did that. I don't know if there's anything more that I was jazzed about. Yeah, Incredibles 3, as I said. Coco, as I said. I'm not a Kingdom Hearts person, so I don't know much about that. Ghost Market looks excellent. Love horror in the Pixar world. I'm not a Bluey world. Tangled, fine, I guess. I'm not a Percy Jackson person. Oswald looks interesting because it is the original Mickey Mouse before they lost the rights. So what'll John Favreau do with that? That'd be good. I've never seen Romeo and Michelle. I'm not an Ice Age person. Lilo and Stitch 2, fine. Yeah, no surprise. Gato looks interesting, but I've seen enough of Gato. The X or Gato, if you want to say it the correct Spanish way. Starfighter. Yeah, I didn't see the thing, so I can't say much on Starfighter. Hexed, sure. So Zootopia 3, yeah, sure. The Doomsday teaser, Frozen 3, yeah, sure. Although I'm not the biggest Josh Gad person, as people know. Yeah. And I'm not a parks person, so I don't think there's much in the parks that excited me overall. So I can't say too much about it. Although I should become more of a parks person. I'm not that far away from Disneyland, so we'll see. KJ says, Digger looks like Cruz is doing a Dana Carvey's Ross Perot SNL impersonation. I just can't. That's a good one, KJ. Yeah. Sand on the beach. Sand on the beach. After this, I give you $20 million. After that, sand on the beach. Sand on the beach. His Ross Perot was great. Oh my God, his Ross Perot was great. And when he has to get rid of his running mate in the forest, Phil Hartman, that the Colonel, that is was a genius sketches. Town Matt 125 Rook, are you planning on playing Grand Theft Auto 6? Yes, I think it would be entertaining to watch you stream it. Also, it would be great to have the Geek Buddies on for a show here. Oh man, they don't get up this early. Oh, we'll see, man. We'll see if I can get them on to promote our show. Maybe sometime when I'm going solo, I'll ask the boys if they want to come on. But we'll see. That's a good suggestion, Town Matt. Absolutely. But Blake, I gotta figure out how I can play Grand Theft Auto 6 on YouTube. Do I have to do it through Twitch? So we'll have to figure that out. Tom at 100 Jewels loot box. Thank you. The 1,000 Jewels rather. Thank you, Brooke. Brookie Smalls 10 Jewels. Press F 10 Jewels hiding. Press 6 Jewels chili. Nice. Alexander Wilson says you talked about how Kennedy might have interfered with season 1 of Ahsoka. Also, Filoni doesn't have one single credit on Maul. Right. I said she interfered with Ahsoka. I didn't say she interfered with Andor. Those are two different things. I think she might have interfered with Ahsoka, but I think it's Filoni right now because that's what I think from the sources I'd heard and the people I know who were somewhat involved in the production saying to me like that Filoni gave his notes and that she pretty much had to follow his notes. So that's the situation there. But Filoni was the co-showrunner on and the EP on Maul Shadow Lord. So he does get credit for that. Yeah. Rookie Smalls, 5 Jewels treat. Happy poop, 10 Jewels there. 6 Jewels makeup brush. I don't know what all of this means. 6 Jewels, 6, 7. There you go. The kids, 6, 7. Mike Joyce back again. Rogue could get her powers the same way Gia did. Sure. That's a nerd reference that I don't get, so I don't know what that's all about.
Secret Invasion.
Got
like it was like the extremist things in the shot.
See what I mean? I don't think I can do the Schmoedown. Emilia Clarke? Is that her name?
I think yes. I believe so,
okay, yes. Jesus Christ. See, that's more than 15 seconds to get that name. Yeah, that's possible too. Very good point, Mike and PLD. Andrew Sanchez, 2028 for Marvel looks insane and super exciting. I also love RDJ's accent for Doom. Cannot wait for Doomsday. I don't need to see anything else. Yeah, very possible. Sammy, is that a real bookshelf? I see the devils on there. Do you read fantasy? Yes, this is a real bookshelf. Yes, those are real books. See how they move? They move. The screen behind me is a green screen, but everything else is real. Yes, those are all my books. Yes, the devils, that's my books. Yes. Liverpool stuff. Yes. Heat 2, that's a real book. Oh, I just knocked over my Wolverine. So yes, those are all real, but just the background behind me is a green screen. Tom Hiffman, hi Rocha. Was wondering why you changed the name of your new show from the Rocha Show to the show with the theme of the judge. My apologies if this is not the place to talk about this. Just curious. No, the Rocha Show is going to be something different. The verdict is going to be something different. So the Rocha Show is essentially going to replace the truth, which I'm still kind of doing now. But the Rocha Show replaced the truth because I'll talk about everything on the Rocha Show. Movies, TV, sports, politics. It's all going to be covered on the Rocha Show. But with the verdict, it's going to be about like, well, here is an issue and I will deliver my verdict on the issue. I'm getting a desk that moves up. So I'll get robes. So I will essentially be a judge, and I will deliver the verdict on this particular subject or topic. Could be anything. And it'll be anything. So just messing around with stuff. So that's going to be the difference there. So, but they're both shows going to be on the channel. They're going to be different shows, but one's not replacing the other. If anything, the Rocha show is replacing the truth. That's for sure. So there'll be two different shows, but thank you for asking that question. PLD, you wanted to come in? You had a comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to throw out there a couple of things. This week's reactions, we got Mandalorian season 1, episode 7 and 8 coming out on Tuesday. We got Invincible season 3, episodes 1 and 2 coming out on Wednesday, and then Mandalorian season 2, episodes 1 and 2 coming out on Friday. And also, real quick, Luke and with Kristian being off for the week, he runs the Schmoedown Vault channel pretty much by himself. Luke and I are going to try to pitch in. I wouldn't expect to be as we're going to try to do as best we can. Let's put it that way. We'll try to get some videos up and down as consistently as Kristian has done before. But yeah, that's about it. Oh, member streams coming up, by the way, next week. Myself and Kristian on the 27th. I'll make an announcement soon in the members room and the Patreon, and you can join us, me and Kristian, for a nice lively chat. So,
what is the situation there? What's the next stuff you're dropping on the vault this week? Do you know?
I actually haven't even looked yet. Kristian talked to me while we used the plane like 2 minutes ago to see if I can do some stuff. So I have to look and see what's coming up soon and what would be next. So I hope.
Fair point. Okay. All right. Cool.
All right.
Vaseline Bay says, please don't call Indy sexy. You're way too old, creepy. She's sexy. She's sexy. She's so sexy. She's 25 years old and she's sexy. You go suck a fat one. All right. Thank you so much for joining me here live for this episode of the Kristian Harloff Show. You guys are amazing. Even those of you who are trying to be free speech warriors, who are trying to stop people from expressing their feelings about something. I love you all. Respect you all. Thank you so much for joining us here. Thanks for the 73 super chats you sent through today. Maybe next time I go solo, we can hit that 100 mark. Would appreciate that. But thanks for the lively chat. Thanks for the well over 600 of you here for the majority of the time. I appreciate you madly. One more time, please head on over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Rocha Says. Yeah, got so much going on there with the Hot Mic Geek Buddies, my reactions, my reviews, Spill the Tequila tomorrow night. So much to talk about. Spill the Tequila has been doing so well. Winston and I mean, the last few weeks, we've been hitting double our numbers that we had before. So I appreciate that show is becoming appointment viewing for people on Tuesday night. So please head on over there as well. And then I'll let you know in the next few minutes if we're going to go live on the Geek Buddies at 2 p.m. PT today on my channel, or if we're going to pre-record and drop it later on today. So thank you all so much. Much love to PLD as well. Really appreciate it. And much love to Luke, who set up the rundown for the show today as well. And much love to all of you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to Kristian's channel as well if you haven't done that. And send him some love. And make sure you watch everybody this week while Kristian's out of town, because we're all holding up the fort for Kristian. We know you all love him, but we're all holding up the fort for Kristian on his channel. So send some love. And I'll be back on Wednesday with Mr. Cook and Mr. Cook to have some fun here on the show. All right, take care of yourselves. Be well. Have a great Monday. I love you. And I'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode here of the Kristian Harloff Show. Peace, everybody.